Peace, peace, salute, salute, salute. Brother Stephen X here, Respect Ring Media LLC. Salute to the brothers and sisters tuning in. Let me know how I sound on the mic. It's very important. Let me know if I'm crystal clear. Romeo, Lima, Charlie. As Brother Freedom's March says, RLC, let me know how I sound on the mic. As promised, folks, going live every Saturday, by a hook or by crook. I'm gonna make sure I get live for the good family, so we can have a discussion around this boxing that we all love. Make sure you like the stream, share the stream. Do all that. All that's really appreciated. Let me turn down this music. Okay, perfect. Yeah, so like I said, let me know how I sound on the mic, y'all. That's really important. And I wanted us to carry on this discussion with this fight that we have coming up on May 30th with Devin Haney versus Rolando Romero. I know when we first went live, we talked about it, and I wanted us to have a more thorough breakdown today. We got time today. There's a possibility I got to bounce out of here, but we'll see. But I can put in, a few hours, and then we can go on our way for Saturday night. Just wanted to make sure that I was consistent with the live. That's really important, being consistent. And we went live yesterday as well, so hopefully y'all caught the replay. So last Saturday's discussion was great. I wanted to carry it on. Haney versus Rolly, real fighter mismatch, question mark, clash for welterweight glory, May 30th, MGM Grand. Let me know how I sound on the mic, y'all. Make sure that's good. And actually, let me go ahead and get this pin. Not the pin. When I'm saying the pin, the link. I'll pin the link to make sure folks get that as well. So we don't have to keep. I don't have to keep sharing it. I just want to make sure pin it at the top. In fact, let me write. To chat. Click the link to chat. Go ahead. Let's see. There we go. I'm going ahead and pin that. Wait for folks to come in the room. Oh, that didn't seem to work. Oh, interesting. Okay, let's try something else. I don't know why that didn't. Let's see. Let's try this again. Oh, I know. Okay. There we go. Let's try it there. Click the link to chat. Put that there. Oh, let's see. Oh, okay. Let me get out of there for a second. I got to go to this page. Let's try it again. Let's try this again. So how are y'all doing? I'm hoping y'all are having a great Saturday. Let's see if I can. There we go. Okay, perfect. I was in the wrong window. Okay, so the link, y'all, yeah, so that's linked, so folks can get a hold of that. Let me know if you're in the building. Let me know how I sound. And I just want to break down, because this fight's basically just over 2 months away, and it's a unification bout. WBO champion Devin Haney, and Rolly Romero is the WBA, from what I remember. Is it WBA? Yeah, Rolly's a WBA champion. So I think, and then 147 we know is the gloried or the glamour division in boxing. It's a very historical. It's a money division. A lot of historical fighters, a lot of historical bouts have happened at welterweight 147. So I think carrying on this, I think Devin Haney carrying on this tradition and Rolly Romero stepping forward, although it was like pulling teeth to get Rolly Romero in the ring. And I think we all know why he's trying to fight Devin Haney. He's really been forced to fight Devin Haney because he doesn't want to fight his mandatory. His mandatory he would lose to, and he's not going to make a lot of money because Rolly's been ducking Devin since he beat Ryan. And some could say maybe even before then, but people say he was been ducking Devin since he beat Ryan on May 2nd at what was it? What was the name of the bout, folks? May 2nd in Times Square. Something Fury. Hold on. What was the name of that May 2nd fight card? I forgot the name already. Fight card. Devin Haney. So let's see. Fight name. And City of the Wolves. Yeah, City of the Wolves. Yeah, Fatal Fury, City of the Wolves. It was named after a video game. Yeah, so Rolly's last fight was this fight, May 2nd. So he'll be fighting Devin over a year from his last fight. And we all know Devin just had a fight not too long ago against Brian Norman Jr. I want to say, what was it, 2 months ago, or even maybe 3 months ago? So Devin's going to be the fresher, more active fighter on May 30th. And I don't know if you've seen the videos, but Devin's been training. There was or not the videos, but there was a picture that I saw of him doing some night training. Let me see if I can find it. So he's in the lab with Mickey Bay. They're doing their thing. Here it is. Friday night work, dedication, the only choice. I think that's what Mickey Bay. Yeah, Mickey Bay wrote that. The fight hasn't been officially announced yet, but I know it's getting finalized. Yeah, let's see, somebody that wrote on Twitter today. It's shown Devin Haney works night schedules ahead of Rolly Romero unification fight. Yeah, so Devin's already in the lab. Ramadan is over. It's done. So, he can go full force now. And really, I mean, he can get into training camp. He's already training, but I'm not sure if this is officially training camp or you're just deep in camp. But that's coming up soon. Wherever they decide to train, who knows? They might, wherever they decide to train, I think. But we know Devin stays in shape. And folks, let me know how it sounds on the mic. We'll make sure the sound is clear. But Devin's been training. We all know he stays in shape. He's probably close to the weight already on 147. He's probably on weight right now. He's not blowing up to some crazy weights. He looks in shape to me. He looks like when he fought Brian Norman. So, that's great. He doesn't have to go through some crazy weight cut and some weight draining, which we know hurts fighters. We know that's not good for fighters. So I think Devin looks focused. He's ready. I haven't seen much from Rolly Romero. I don't follow him on Twitter like that. That's where I follow a lot of these guys, or Instagram. So I'm not sure what's really going on with him. I know the last photo I saw of him, he looked huge. So he's going to have to cut down. He looked huge to me. He looked way bigger than 147. So he's going to have to cut down to that weight. As we know, a lot of these fighters don't fight at the weights. They aren't the weights that they fight at. They have to cut down usually. So Rolly looked pretty big to me. Let me see how tall Rolly is. What is Rolly Romero's height? Let's see. Rolando Rolly Romero stands 5 feet 8 inches tall. Okay. Isn't Devin taller? What is Devin Haney's height? Devin Haney's 5'9". So Devin Haney has the height advantage. Does that, I mean, that doesn't necessarily naturally make him have the reach advantage, but usually it does. So who has the reach advantage? With Devin Haney and Rolly Romero. I want to see who has the reach. Devin Haney holds a significant reach advantage over Rolly Romero. Wow, let's see. Salute to my good brother Dante. Salute, my brother. Salute. Good brother Dante, thank you for joining us. Thank you for the salutations. It's good to see you here. Always good to see the good family in the building, in the room. So Haney versus Rolly, real fighter, mismatch, class for welterweight glory. Devin Haney holds a significant reach advantage over Rolly Romero. Based on reported physical attributes, Haney has a 72-inch reach, while Romero has a 68-inch reach. Wow, so a 4-inch difference. This gives Haney a 4-inch advantage, allowing him to use his jab to maintain distance in their rumored matchup. Devin Haney reach approximately 72 inches. Rolly Romero reach approximately 68 inches. The fight, a potential 147-pound unification bout for May 20th, features a clash of styles where Haney's reach and technical boxing are expected to be key factors over the explosive, shorter-armed Romero. Yeah. I mean, last time we talked about a Devin masterclass. I know Sister Cam had said I think it's going to be a masterclass. And folks I've seen folks have been breaking down. I'm going to play some of the videos actually. Let me get these videos queued up of folks breaking down this fight. That's what today is focused on, like really getting to these breakdowns from different people. Like who's saying what, everyone's got an opinion, but we really need to get some good opinion. So that's what I'm going to do right now. Let me download. This is Chris Algieri. Okay, let me get Chris Algieri's take. I haven't seen any of this stuff, so I'll be watching this stuff for the first time with y'all. And like I said, I just wanted to make sure I go live for the good family, so the good family can participate in this live. You can click the link at the top of the window if you want, and join the live with me as I'm downloading this video. Give me 1 second. So we know Devin has the reach advantage. Here we go. Let me download this video of Chris Algieri. Yeah, so we know Devin has the reach advantage. We can do a tail of the tape too. What are the other advantages that, what advantage does Rolly have? Let me see. Tail of the tape. Let me go here. Okay, let me see if this is downloaded. Okay, so that video is downloaded. Let me see. Do a tail of the tape. Devin Haney versus Rolly. Let's see. Yeah, okay. So we have Devin's record is 30-0, 15 KOs. Rolly Romero's 14-0. Devin Haney has the height advantage. Okay, it says he's like 5'9", Rolly's like 5'8". Both are orthodox. Rolly is older than Devin, apparently. He's 26. Devin's 25. Okay, Rolly's got a higher knockout percentage, but who is he knocking out? That's the thing. Who is he knocking out? But anyway, so let's get to this breakdown, and I'm going to just download more breakdowns as we go along. Let's see, this is Chris Algieri. This is the first time. Let me know how everything sounds sound-wise. But here's Chris Algieri.
Unification fight. It's two guys who have a history together.
There we go. Hold on.
Number one, I like the fight. It's a unification fight. It's two guys who have a history together. It's two guys who can, it's a fighter in Rollies and a manager and father in Bill Haney that can really sell the fight. You know, Devin's obviously not a big talker, but I think their ability to sell that fight would make it that much bigger. And again, unifications are always important. But in terms of stylistic matchup strategically, I lean towards Devin, but the explosiveness and unpredictability of Rollies makes him really dangerous. And I can see how he can give him fits. He's got that leaping left hook that we saw him drop Ryan with. We've seen Haney be susceptible to the left hook in past fights, especially the Ryan fight.
Salute Adam Hurley. Thurman versus Fundora is a dandy. Yeah. Isn't that fight coming up? Hold on. When is Thurman and Fundora fighting? Isn't it next week? Yeah, it's next week. It's not tonight. I was trying to see what boxing's going on tonight. Thank you, Adam Hurley, for joining the chat. Okay, let me continue this video.
It's an interesting matchup. I think the weight really matters. We've seen Haney be susceptible to the left in past fights, the Ryan fight.
Hold on.
The explosiveness and predictability of Rollies makes him really dangerous. And I can see how he can give him fits. He's got that leaping left hook that we saw him drop Ryan with. We've seen Haney be susceptible to the left hook in past fights, especially the Ryan fight. It's an interesting matchup. I think it matters. Haney, I think, is better suited for welterweight than Rollies is. But I think it's a really good competitive fight in a lot of ways. Number one, I like the fight. It's a unification fight. It's two guys who have a history together. It's two guys who can, it's a fighter in Rollies and a manager and father in Bill Haney that can really sell the fight. You know, Devin's obviously not a big talker, but I think they sell that fight would make it.
I don't know why it's chopping up like that. That's a better fight. Adam Hurley says, that's a better fight than I originally thought, but I got Haney. Yeah, it's going to be a good fight. It's a good clash of styles. Devin is the technical, fast boxer that has the better defense. And Rolly is an aggressive, come forward, and he packs a punch. So this is what Chris Algieri is saying. Rolly's got this sort of surprising explosiveness or power that we saw against Ryan Garcia with that double left hook. But like I said, who's he fighting? You know what I mean? Now, both of them fought Ryan Garcia, you know, but we all know, like even Chris Algieri saying Devin got caught with the left hook. Yeah, well, we all know why. I'm not going to ever ignore the context of the weight advantage and the PEDs. I can't do that. I can't analyze that fight. I can analyze the fight, but I have to always keep into my mind, and everybody should keep into mind, wait a minute, this dude he's on something. So what does Adam Hurley says? From what I've seen on training, Haney's better than he's ever been offensively. Yeah, Haney's last performance is his best performance ever against Brian Norman Jr. I think it's his best performance ever. His most dominant performance as well. Knocking him down in the second round. And Devin Haney's had amazing fights. But you're only good as your last fight anyways in the sport of boxing. So You know, all that really matters is his last fight. To be honest with you, that's the last thing we've seen from Devin.
Number one, I like the fight. It's a unification fight. It's two guys who have a history together. It's two guys who can, well, it's a fighter in Rollies and a manager and father in Bill Haney that can really sell the fight. You know, Devin's obviously not a big talker, but I think their ability to sell that fight would make it that much bigger. And again, unifications are always important. But in terms of stylistic matchup strategically, I lean towards Devin, but the explosiveness and unpredictability of Rollies makes him really dangerous. And I can see how he can give him fits. He's got that leaping left hook that we saw him drop Ryan with. We've seen Haney be susceptible to the left hook in past fights, especially the Ryan fight. So yeah, it's an interesting matchup. I think the weight really matters. Haney, I think, is better suited for welterweight than Rollies is. But I think it's a really good competitive fight, and it could go a lot of different ways.
Oh, that's interesting. He says Chris Algieri. That's Chris Algieri. He says that Devin Haney's more suited for welterweight than Rolly, which is what I said. Like, Rolly is big right now. I saw a photo of Rolly. Rolly is like, he's got to cut down in weight for this fight, and Devin looks like he's closer to the weight right now than Rolly, just from like an eye test. Just from an eye test. Rolly looks like he's got to cut more weight. So that's what Algieri is saying. Yeah. And let me cue up this comment again by Adam. Yeah, from what I've seen on training, Haney is better than he's ever been offensively. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Adam. Rolly looks big. Yeah, he does. Rolly looks minimum 160, and I bet you it was more than that. Rolly looks big. You know, actually, let me repost this breakdown. Oh, okay. I never seen this one. Yesterday, Paulie Malignani, Milani explained why Rolly Romero is dangerous for Devin Haney. Interesting. I haven't seen this one yet. So let me queue up all these breakdowns. I'm trying to go through as many breakdowns today as possible so we can really get a good sense of what the experts are saying in the boxing world, or the so-called experts. I want to see what folks are saying. Adam Hurley asked who you got in that fight. I got Devin Haney, Adam. I got Devin Haney. UDing Rolly Romero with a knockdown or two. Yeah, that's what I'm sticking with for now. Let me see. I'm just downloading this Poly video. I don't think I'm going to share the Poly video, but just for the purposes of this show, I'll just break it down. Let's see. When I mean sharing, I mean sharing on my Twitter. Nice. Yeah, Adam. Yeah, I got Devin. If they ever calculated something in boxing called a UD percentage, Devin's UD percentage would be very high. It'd be very high. But they don't calculate that in boxing. They calculate knockout percentages. But Devin consistently gets UDs. So that's why if you're making a prediction in a Devin Haney fight, yeah, a lot of times you're gonna say, oh, Devin by UD, if you're choosing Devin, you know. But I can see Devin knocking him out, but Devin is not going to go for the knockout. But I can see through the boxing how Devin Haney dominates Rolly, because Rolly is not a better boxer than Devin Haney. See what I'm saying? Let me cue up this Poly video. I haven't seen this. A lot of these breakdowns, I'm now catching up to them. I mean, we saw some yesterday, but I'm seeing a lot of these for the first time. So,
against Jonathan Davis before he got knocked out. Rolly is a fighter.
Give me 1 second, me.
Rolly's no slouch, you know. Rolly was up against Jonathan Davis before he got knocked out. Rolly is a fighter who can punch a little bit. He's got a win over Ryan Garcia, who's now the reigning WBC champion. So, I think you underestimate Rolly at your own peril. He's an interesting guy, but I think an outward guy that can punch is always dangerous.
And I feel like the only guys he lost to, Pitbull and Gervonta, were heavy hitters themselves, which maybe not necessarily a thing with Devin, right?
The thing about Rolly is he's very difficult when you back him up. Devin's going to try to outbox him. And Devin may indeed outbox him, but that's probably what's expected and probably the likely scenario. But it's still, when you're not backing Rolly up, he can also be at his most dangerous. So it'll be, I think for that reason, it'll be a fun fight to watch.
Yeah.
Interesting take. So they're saying that it's a dangerous fight for Devin. That's what they're saying if you back him up, which is an interesting take. I heard somebody say it was a 50-50 fight the other day too. It's like, okay. Just give Devin his full credit when he wins then if it's a 50-50 fight. I wonder what y'all think about that last breakdown. Here, let me cue up this breakdown. I'm just going through breakdowns today. That's what we're doing today. Just getting the opinions of the boxing world on this bout, which is coming up real quick. It's over 2 months away, but time flies. See, I want to get more specific on how Devin's going to win. Like, yeah, I'm making a prediction, but how is he going to do it? Like, I'm saying a UD, 1 or 2 knockdowns for now, but I may change that. I may change how he does it based on maybe some of the things I hear, some of the things I'm seeing. You know what I'm saying? Make sure y'all like the stream, share it. Let's get some folks in the room. Oh, shoot. Let me download this video. I think we saw this yesterday. Let me download again. This is Kenny Ellis, which is interesting. Okay, let me take that off the screen. Take that off. Okay, cool. This is Kenny Ellis. Okay, let's break this one down. Here we go. I think we saw this yesterday too.
Possibly May 30th. I mean, how do you feel like that fight plays out? Do you like the fight?
I like it. I think Devin, if he can stick with the plan, he can box him, but he just can't afford to get caught by Rolly because Rolly ass can crack. You know?
Right.
Can't afford to get caught. That's a good fight.
Who do you think wins that fight?
I don't know. That's a hard one. Can Devin take the shot? You know?
Right.
That's gonna be a good one though. Devin is better, the better athlete though.
Yeah.
You know.
People talk about, some of the advantages that Rolly has. Obviously, people say that Rolly hits harder than Ryan. Also, that kind of unorthodox. He doesn't really do things basic because he hasn't had a big amateur career,
He's awkward, real awkward. I think Devin jab might give Rolly trouble. But Rolly can dive in at any time with one of them crazy punches that he throw.
Mm.
Devin definitely got to be cautious, but he got to work at the same time. Stay up on points. Don't try to knock Rolly out. Just stay up on points.
Yeah,
Box.
seems like a good fight.
Yeah, sorry, I've been saying fair use, YouTube. This is all fair use. Actually, let me write that. This is all fair use, YouTube. Fair use. As we're breaking fair use, YouTube. Thank you.
Seems like so you think it's like a 50-50? You think?
Yeah, it's a 50-50.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rolly seems confident. He's also been able to share the ring with Devin as well.
Yeah. I like Rolly lately. He's been like
different.
Yeah. I like that humble Rolly.
Yeah. He not putting I don't want to say putting a facade or a different, he completely different person. Like he sounds even more intelligent.
Yeah, he just chilling right now,
Yeah.
staying humble.
Seems like it would be a good fight. Now, in an interview on the Ring magazine, Devin Haney says that Gervonta Davis is an underachiever. I don't know if he was able to hear that.
Yeah, I heard that. Oh, I gotta watch that interview, the full interview. I saw clips of it too. Maybe we'll go through that. Okay, so right now, if I were to summarize this, people are saying it's a 50-50 fight. Rolly's awkward, which makes it dangerous for Devin Haney. Okay, that's interesting. Let me see. This is Kenny too. I think we saw this one yesterday too, but let me cue it up since this is the breakdown show. Yeah, we're breaking down stuff now. This fight's around the corner. Straight up. This fight's around the corner, y'all. Before you know it, you got to get a plane ticket. You got to get hotels booked, all that. Let me download this as we're talking. Fair use, y'all. Fair use. Fair use.
May 30th. I mean, how do you feel like that fight plays out?
Oh, okay. Hold on. I already played that one. Yeah. Let me just download this other one. I think, is it downloading? Oh, okay. This is something else. Oh, this is for Keyshawn Davis. Yeah, we talked about peace and blessings, sis. Peace and blessings. Sister Chiquila Fields, beloved queen. How are you doing today? As promised, I'm here. I came through for the family, to give the family a show. I know we did one yesterday, but we agreed on that Saturday time slot. So good to see you. Let me know how I sound on the mic. Cool. Thank you for gracing us with your presence, Queen. Let me see. Who is this? Cool JC26 or Cool JC. If Rolly win, does he get full credit? Of course. Of course he does. Any winner gets full credit. Any winner, whoever it is, we respect our opponents. Devin Haney respects his opponents. If Rolly beats Devin Haney, he gets full credit. If Devin Haney beats Rolando Romero, he gets full credit. That's the way it should be in the sport of boxing. And the better man won that night. The better prepared man wins. Always. Always. There's no doubt about that. So, of course. And now, like I said, the consensus is folks think it's 50-50. That's what we're hearing so far. Rolly's dangerous. He's awkward. So Devin's taking him very seriously. Devin takes every opponent seriously. He's not playing around with Rolly, and he shouldn't. He should not play around with Rolly Romero at all, and he won't. Not Devin Haney. He's too professional for that. So, yeah. So this is a video with Kenny Ellis picking Devin Haney to beat Keyshawn Davis. Okay, I don't want to deal with that right now because I'm focused on. Oh, yeah, this is the Bo Mac video. Okay, so for folks coming in the room now, we're just doing breakdowns. Like we're literally just going through all the opinions because people are already shooting in with their opinions about and their breakdowns of this fight and how it's going to go. So I'm now, just using this time to some of the stuff I haven't seen and some of it I've already seen. So I'm watching it for the first time with y'all. Let me know if you've seen it before as well. I'm going to share this with a good family so we have a good knowledge about what's going on. Yeah, so this is Bo Mac. Bo Mac, yeah, we played this yesterday. Bo Mac is funny. I saw this video of him breaking it down. Who do y'all got? You got Devin or Rolly? Type it in the chat. Who's got Devin? If you got Devin, type Devin. If you got Rolly, type Rolly. Let's do a quick little. In fact, let me create a poll. Yeah, let me create a poll. Quick poll. Who y'all got? Devin or Rolly? Devin, Rolly. Start poll. Okay, the poll's in the chat, y'all. Let me know. I'll leave that up. The pin is linked at the top of the chat window. Yes, Queen. Yes, I'm here, always supporting family. Thank you, Queen. Your presence is really greatly appreciated. Love having the family in here, and I just wanted to provide the platform because we had promised that this is a good time to go live for the good family. So it's so good to have you here, as always. So let me cue up this Bomac video, what his opinion is. May 30th, the dream. The dream. Devin the Dream Haney, the American Dream Haney. Absolutely. May 30th, it goes down. Welterweight glory to MGM Grand. It's going to be so fire. It's going to be so dope. I love it. That's why I'm doing breakdowns now. I'm doing breakdowns now. It's never too late for that.
The rumor right now is Devin Haney versus...
This is Bomac.
You know, the rumor right now is Devin Haney versus Rolando Romero at 147, a unification in that fight. I've heard both sides of the coin, right? Like Devin has the skills to outbox him, but you know, Rolly has that power that can change his mind a little bit.
I can't see Rolly getting past Devin. I think Devin is a great boxer. Rolly just go in there and throw punches. You know, just close his eyes and hope to hit something. No disrespect, bro, but that's just how I look at it.
You don't think he closes his eyes and gets one?
I mean, I found a few clicks, a few snaps and photos with his eyes closed.
Ryan Garcia, man, looked great against Mario Barrios, champion at 47 as well. Just you know, if he were to rematch Devin, that seems like the rematch that everyone really wants in boxing. Does it look different than it did the first time around?
I think a little different because you know, that drug test is going to be enforced. So will he have that stab? Will he have that quickness and power? That must be seen. You know, if you don't, Devin going wear his ass out. Watch.
Just I don't know if I've heard your take on, you know, Zuffa boxing getting into the sport the way.
Yeah, Bomac's telling the truth, you know. You know, if that drug testing's on point, and it will be, he thinks Devin's got it. So that's why I don't analyze that fight without that context in mind. I never do. The weight, and the drugs. Let me see. Oh, I didn't see this. I saw it, but what's Keith Thurman saying? Let me see what the good family's saying. Oh yeah, cool JC 26. Okay, cool JC, you got Devin. Okay, y'all, the polls in the chat. So I'm gonna close the poll soon, but I'll leave it up for a bit. I want to see. I really want to get a good assessment of what y'all think. I didn't see this Thurman video. Okay, cool. Let me break down. Let me break down this Thurman video. See, everyone's already in the boxing world's already giving their opinions because we know this is a big fight. It's a unification bout, y'all. Right? Unification bouts are like a good thing. This is good for boxing. Unifications are good for boxing. Fighting for undisputed is good for boxing. All of this is great for boxing. So that's why May 30th, as Sister Chiquila says, let me post that. May 30th, the dream. Like, I'm excited about May 30th. It's going to be an exciting date. Straight up. Let's see here. Let me cue up the Thurman. Now, I haven't seen this Thurman video. YouTube, fair use. I haven't seen it yet, but we'll see what's popping.
You know, he knows Devin Haney, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I heard a different matchup with Haney. I don't know what I was hearing, but this one sounds. Oh yeah, I was hearing about the Ryan rematch, but I guess
Yeah.
that's not the thing, right?
Yeah,
That's
that's,
not.
I mean, they're saying Rolly Devin is what they're saying in May.
It's fine. You know, they need to just keep winning, keep looking good, keep growing their brand, um, and they're making smart fights at 147. You know, which is very important. Um, Rolly does not have the biggest output. Rolly is a little stiff and rigid. He's strong, but he's stiff and rigid. And I think Rolly is you know, a little bit. I don't know. I don't know the guy that he really just beat personally. You know, I've definitely seen more of Rolly, but I just feel like Rolly's got a little bit more grit than the champion that Haney just beat at 147. Who was that young
Brian
champion?
Norman, Brian Norman.
Brian Norman. Yeah, I think they always got more experience and a little bit more grit, a little bit more like, I don't.
Sister Jaquila, they're always trying to steer people away from Dev. Sick work. Yep. Amen, sis. Always trying to. It's it's crazy work in the boxing world. Crazy work. And that's why we were saying yesterday on the live, y'all missed it. Like Devin is so mentally strong. They being, the powers that be, the toxic fans, the racist fans. Oh, the Queen, Sugar Free Mars has joined us. The Queen is in the building. The Queen has graced us with her presence. Thank you so much, Sugar Free Mars, for Queen Sugar Free Mars for being here. It's amazing that you. I'm a man of my word. I keep my word. I said Saturday. I said it, and I'm here. So peace to the Queen. Peace to the chat. Yeah, I am grateful for the family coming through. Really, like it's a Saturday afternoon, y'all. It's nice where I am right now. I don't know where y'all, but it's nice here. It's nice weather, and y'all are listening. It's amazing. I see you, Queen. Thank you so much. I see you. I see all of you. Thank you so much for joining us, all of you in the chat. It's really appreciated. Yeah, let's continue with this. And y'all, the pin is linked if you want to join. But today I've just been breaking down. Everyone's giving their breakdowns. So some of these I'm seeing for the first time. Some of them I've seen. So we're just doing right now folks are saying Rolly's dangerous. It's a 50-50 fight. He's awkward. Devin's got to be careful. And that's what Sister Jaquila's saying. They're always betting against Dev, but let's continue.
I don't think he's really going to. He just beat at 147. Who was that young champion?
Brian Norman.
Brian Norman. Yeah, I think they always got more experience and a little bit more grit, a little bit more like, I don't think he's really going to be scared of Devin, even if he was, but if he got popped and, if he got dropped like the other Brian Norman did, I don't know. I would like to say that Rolly would keep moving forward. My theory is Haney. I favor Haney, but the fight's gonna be a better overall matchup than the Brian Norman show because I think I don't know. I think after the knockdown, the snooze button was hit a little early.
Yeah, okay. He was going okay until he's I mean, what did we expect? I mean, he's a rival. So I mean, what did we expect Keith Thurman to say? Like really and truly. But okay. I think I heard he favors Devin, right? That's what y'all heard. Oh, by the way, actually, let's answer the question that I have in the title. Real fight or mismatch? Haney versus Rolly. Is this a real fight or is it a mismatch? Let's answer that. Queen, yes, Queen. Why are they so scared to say Dev is highly favored? You know what? That's a great point. Yeah, that's a great point. Why are they? You notice okay, I've been summarized, like we've been playing a lot of videos so far. There, a lot of them are, some of them are choosing, like most of them are choosing Dev or all of them, but there's this like shade. You notice that? Oh, or Rolly's dangerous and Dev's got to be careful. And they're just not coming out, except for Bomac. I think Bomac was just like, nah, Dev's got this. But something, this is what we're alluding to. There's always like Devin's like this like boogeyman, or I'm shaking my head too, Queen. I'm shaking my head too. What's going on? This boxing world is treacherous, man. It's straight up treacherous, man. Oh, this is Keyshawn saying it's a 50. Yeah, I heard Dev. Let me just download this since this is the breakdown show. Although I did see that. They're scared to say that Devin's a favorite, even though we know he's going to be the favorite. And there's always some little shade, you know? Sister Jaquila, exactly. It's obvious they're under some sick code. Yeah. Yeah, facts. Facts. It's almost like a script that's been handed to them. And bullet points. They are hitting the same bullet points. You ever hear of politicians from the same party and they're all saying the same thing? That's all programmed. That's not an accident. They get their morning preps, and it's almost like that with the corporate boxing media. Like it's like they're all on the same code or the same cue as Sis says. Like something funny is going on in this boxing world when it pertains to Devin Haney in particular and Bill Haney. Right? Oh yeah, I got the poll going in the chat. Please finish the poll, and then also, yeah, let's answer the question: is this a real fight or a mismatch? All right, let's hear from this young man who we talked about yesterday. I know it's Keyshawn Davis. Give me 1 second. Yeah, here we go.
Well, I got a 50-50. Definitely. Haney Romero, I got a 50-50. Definitely a 50-50 fight. I've been talking to Rolly on the phone. I know how serious he is. So everybody know Devin Haney for his last fight. So I got to be in a 50-50 fight. In my reaction.
Oh boy. Okay.
Haney Romero, I got a 50-50. Definitely a 50-50 fight. I've been talking to Rolly on the phone. I know how serious he is. So everybody know Devin Haney for his last fight. So I got to be in a 50-50 fight. In my reaction.
See the shade. Did you hear it? You can hear it. It's what you hear and what you don't hear, and tone and all of that. Like it's just like, now mind you, these are from rivals or whatever, but you know, these guys are all on the same code, the same sick code, as Sis says. It's a sick code. It really is. And I don't get it. I mean, Keyshawn Davis, like I saw Dev tweeted about this. He's like, dude's a fraud. Oh, Robert Garcia. I didn't see this breakdown. Yet. Okay, let me cue this one up. Oh shoot. Okay, there we go. Let me see. Give me 1 sec. All right, let me get this guy off the screen. Here the fuck you go. Exactly. Like, I don't know. I'm in all seriousness. Is he do you think it's like a behavioral thing, or like I'm not like substances? Is something going on with him, or he's just, I don't know. Or just he's just clout chasing. It's not like anything on a substance level, but it's just because professionals be like, because he's all over the place when he speaks. He's all over the place, and there's a lot of attention seeking behavior from him. And then when you saw him with the young king Abdullah Mason, right? I call him Keyshawn ADD. I heard you, yes, Queen. I've heard you say that, and It's a great observation though. He seems all over the place. There's something going on. And I asked somebody on Twitter, I'm like, is it coffee? I was making a joke. Is this just coffee or what else? What is going on with him? You know, and even Abdullah Mason said, well, you're just chatting, man. You know, yeah, ADD Davis, Sister Chiquila says there's the corporate. Oh, there's the corporate clown. Yeah. You're talking about Keyshawn, right? Yeah. Yeah, me too. Yeah, that's the corporate clown, Keyshawn Davis. Brothers Cool JC, what was the shade? People have their opinions like you. I and everyone else. I got Dev winning, but some people think Rolly will win. Feel free to click the link. Cool CJ. Yeah, cool JC. Feel free to click the link. We can discuss. There is a shade. What was the shade? I mean, we could talk about it. If you're not aware that there is a agenda against Devin Haney in the boxing world. So you might be missing the context in which, like, we're saying that there's an anti-Devin Haney bias in the boxing world and in the corporate boxing media and among toxic fans and racist fans. This is why folks still brush off the drug cheating that Ryan Garcia did against Devin Haney. Okay, so I don't know if you're new to that, but I'm just sort of letting you know what's going on. Queen Sugar Free Mars says the shade is people acting as if they're afraid to accredit Devin as the favorable fighter in this matchup. Yeah, exactly. More precisely to that point. Yeah. We're doing breakdowns today in people's opinions, and folks are hesitant to say they got Devin winning. Right? The shade is people acting as if they're afraid just to give him full credit. They're like, no, he's the favorite. He's better than Rolly. Here's how he's going to outbox him. He's going to beat him to the pulp. And that's it. There's always a but. That's what we're talking about. And that's because of the general anti-Devin Haney bias in the sport of boxing. That's what we're saying. Cool JC. This what I have pinned here right now with what Queen Sugar Free Mars is saying, that's what we're saying. So that's the answer to your question. Right? Maybe they don't believe Dev is the favorite to win in a match. No. That's cap. That's cap. Maybe they don't believe Dev is the favorite to win in the match. You actually believe that? I'm just asking. We're talking about Devin Haney versus Rolly Romero. I understand the Dev agenda, but people still have their opinions. Yes, people have their opinions. But remember what we talked about at the beginning of the show, context. I said that at the beginning, like there's that anti-Devin Haney. Maybe I should have put it in the title. There's an anti-Devin Haney bias in the sport of boxing. And you could hear it in the breakdowns and opinions that these fighters are giving or these broadcasters are giving. Right? Sugar free. Yeah. There's okay. That's what we're saying. Feel free to click the link. We could discuss. Let me get. I didn't hear this Robert Garcia breakdown. This is going to be interesting because I don't know what he's going to say. Let me see. I have no idea. This is the first time seeing this.
Let me ask you some predictions. It seems like it's official. Devin Haney, Rolando Romero, May 30th, Robert. Break it down.
Is that true?
Bill told me that.
Devin Haney, Rolando?
Yep.
Look, this last time that I hang out with Oli, can't help not cheer for him, man. He's a good dude, man. He's a good person. But I think Devin Haney wins the decision.
Why?
YouTube, fair use, YouTube.
He's a good boxer, man. Fast, bosses. What's his name? Rollies. If you stand in front of me, Ryan didn't, and he beat Ryan. Fuck, it's an interesting fight, but I think I go with Haney.
Okay.
Okay, so he chose Haney. Let me replay that. Wait, hold on. Cool CJ, no, it's not cap. Some people believe that. I don't, but that's their opinion. Who are the some people? Please enlighten us, sir.
Let me ask you some predictions. It seems like it's official. Devin Haney, Rolando Romero, May 30th, Robert. Break it down.
Is that true?
Bill told me that.
Devin Haney rolling?
Yep.
Look, the last time that I hang out.
He said Bill told him that, and I'm not going to say this guy's name. You guys can hear from the voice, but I don't know about that.
Out with Oli, can't help but cheer for him, man. He's a good dude, man. He's a good person. But I think Devin Haney wins the decision.
Why?
He's a good boxer, man. Fast, boxes. What's his name? Rollies. If you stand in front of me, you know, well, Ryan didn't, and he beat Ryan. It's an interesting fight, but I think I go with Haney.
Okay.
Okay, that's interesting. So he chose Devin by UD. Okay, I'm gonna repost it. Let's see who else. Oh, okay. Is this Greg Hackett? Oh, yeah. Let me cue this video up. I didn't watch the full video of this, but hold on. Let's close this poll. And the poll. Okay, nobody in this chat. Everyone's got Devin. So cool, JC. Everybody here has got Devin Haney winning. And you said no, it's not cap. Some people believe that. I don't, but that's their opinion. But we got 100%. When was the last time you've seen a YouTube poll with 100%? No, everyone's got Devin here. So it'll be interesting to hear your perspective on that. Let me see if this is download. Yeah, let me cue this one up. This is Greg Hackett. He's been pretty opinionated. See, everyone's giving their breakdowns already because they know this fight's a big fight coming up. It's a unification bout. All right, here we go.
With Rolly Romero, you can't.
At all.
You cannot play with him at all. You cannot take 10 seconds. You cannot take 30 seconds to bullshit. You got to be on point at all times. I'm not saying he the fastest. I'm not saying he hit the hardest. But that motherfucking Rolly ain't playing.
Right.
Rolly do a lot of clowning around. Rolly do a lot of misleading. But when he get in that ring, he trying to hurt you. And the reason that it's going to be a great fight is because Rolly is the guy that know all these niggas in the gym.
Absolutely.
And I say that because 85% of them in the gym been in the ring with Rolly sparring. And he be on their ass.
Facts.
When he fought Ryan, I told people, I said he's going to be on Ryan's ass because he already know Ryan don't like that pressure. And I feel like it's the same for all of them. We even seen it with Tank. Yes, he got knocked out by Tank. Yes, he did. But he was on Tank ass to the point Tank, if he didn't knock him out, that would have been a totally different fight. I'm not mad at Tank for getting the knockout. I'm just saying that would have been a totally different fight. That's all, gang. I don't want no trouble.
Hey man, salute to Mav G21 for the deuce. Dev by a million cuts. Hey man, one thing Dev gonna have to for shit show do is keep his distance.
Ooh,
he gonna have to keep his distance. You gonna have to do a combination of keeping your distance and
I love this fight because, like I said, the energy between the two. We know each other, and ain't no getting away around it. You know what I'm saying? Devin know he gonna have to put on a little bit more muscle. Dev always gonna come to be sharp. He gonna always come to be prepared. I just want to see if Rolly be able to catch up to Dev. I don't think Rolly's footwork is where it need to be to catch up to Dev. I think he could make it a good fight, but I don't know if he could catch up to Dev. I ain't gonna lie. Dev got to be ready because you still could get caught with a mean shot. But I think that's just the biggest difference. Dev footwork is top tier speed. His footwork is fast. You know what I mean? And he can make a move that'll make you make a move that you ain't intend on making, and then you getting caught with a shot. You know what I'm saying? If Dev could go in there and frustrate Rolly behind that jab, behind that speed, and really outthink him, I think he can get the win.
Yeah, I was saying that Devin's going to frustrate him. That's what I've been saying. I see Devin frustrating him with this. He's faster than Rolly. He's better defensively than Rolly, so Rolly's going to be missing.
But if he for some strange wild reason get overconfident and try to trade with Rolly,
oh no, I think he gonna know not to do that. You know what I mean? Because some shit just ain't smart. You know what I mean? I'm bet.
Devin is a smart fighter. Ring IQ. He's got the reach advantage over Rolly. He also has a ring IQ advantage as well.
Better than you, but you a strong motherfucker. So I ain't just, you know what I mean?
So there's a common thing here. This is what we heard with Brian Norman Jr. People kept saying he packs a punch, which he does. And I'm starting with all these breakdowns that people are giving, opinions. I'm starting to hear a common theme that Rolly's a power puncher, same as Brian Norman Jr. I'm hearing the same things. So, like, it's interesting going through this as we're doing this.
Yeah. My chin might not be as strong as your punch. I might got a good ass chin, but that punch you packing might be a motherfucker. You feel me?
Hold on. There's some people who ain't saying it's a 50. There's some people who ain't saying it's a 50-50 fight. Oh, those are the same people who are saying it's a 50-50 fight. Okay. That's what you're saying. The same people. Okay, interesting. Yes, there's a trend. As I'm breaking down these videos, I'm picking up. I'm glad I'm doing this because I'm picking up the videos as I'm watching them. Right? It's very interesting as we're doing this. Right? Yeah. Very interesting. There's a trend. That's the key word, trend. Yes, Queen.
Like
8 ounces. 8 ounces.
In this day and age for Devin, it's gonna be hard to recover from a loss, especially from a Rolly. You feel me?
Yes.
So
yes.
I think he gonna.
Yes, same conversation. I'm now picking this up. Let's see. I'm glad we're going through this. Right. Oh shoot! I didn't see this. Hold on. This is Roy Jones. I didn't. Do y'all see Roy Jones break it down? I didn't see this. All right, let me cue this video up. I did not see this. There's a lot of stuff I'm now catching up to. Oh boy, it's the same conversation. That's why I'm like, y'all are really emphasizing this power thing. This is boxing. This is boxing. It's not called knockouts. It's called boxing, you know? And whomever Rolly has knocked out, whatever knockouts he has in his career, who was he knocking out? You know what I mean? Okay, we saw the knockdown of Ryan Garcia. Queen Sugar-Free Mars says, I haven't seen it, but heard he gave his take. Oh, okay. Yeah, I haven't seen it either. Let me see. I think I got it queued up here. Let me get him on the screen. This will be interesting. Okay.
Because Rolly can't is a select the round fight. Can Rolly catch them? Because Rolly can't is a select the round fight. If Rolly can't catch Devin, they're gonna whitewash. But if he catch Devin early and hurt Devin, it could become a 50-50 fight. You understand me?
Mm-hmm.
I told him this same thing when he fought Ryan. I told the guys, I said, you gotta look at it like this. Rolly is a lot lesser version, but he's a knockoff version of Prince Nassim Hamid.
Mm-hmm.
If he hit you, you're gonna know you've been hit because he got unusual punching power. They were like, nah, but that's a real watered down version. Yeah, it's a watered down version, but it ain't as watered down as y'all think it is. Because when you get in that ring, if you feel that thing get your chin, it's a different thing. So it's watered down, but it ain't as watered down as y'all think it is. Now, you've been in the ring with a lot of people. The other thing is that Rolly was in Las Vegas during the time all these guys were coming up with all the sparring sessions going on.
Yeah.
I'm sure he sparred Haney. I'm sure he sparred everybody out there pretty much.
Fair use, YouTube. Fair use.
Because he was in the mix of all that. So the good thing for Rolly is he knows what he's dealing with.
Mm-hmm.
But the good thing for Haney, too, is that he also knows what he's dealing with. Well, I thought Haney also knew what he was dealing with when he fought Ryan, but he kind of took that a little different. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yet, it could have been the weight drain, because he proved in the last fight that he had been weight draining himself. So maybe that's what it was, too. So now, without being weight drained, we probably see a different Haney, and that would be problematic for Rolly if it is. If he let Rolly hit him, it could be a problem.
Yeah, so common denominator, I hear a lot of 50-50, 50-50. Give Devin his credit when he beats Rolly Romero in this 50-50 fight. That's what I'm saying. Just give if it's a 50-50 fight and it's not a mismatch and it's a real fight, it is a real fight, but you know what I'm saying. Then you have to give the winner of that fight full credit. That's the way the game goes. Straight up. Sister Jaquila says none of the guys in or around Dev have his level of ring IQ. I agree. They're speaking of the gym. Dev came up under Floyd Mayweather Senior. Right? Oh God, this is Tim Bradley. Like I'm going through today, Tim Bradley. I haven't seen this either, but let me cue this up too. Yeah, I'm glad we're going through this exercise. Let's get this out of the way so we see what folks were, y'all, give your opinions. Cool. It's your right. You can break down fights. Cool. Just like we're choosing Dev. Let me see here. Yeah. I haven't seen this either. This is Tim Bradley. A lot of times I see this stuff scrolling, but I'm like, I won't watch it yet. But I'm glad we're doing this right now. Oh, salute, brother Raul. Brother Raul Garcia has joined us. Salute, listening in. Salute to see the family once again. The family's here, so it's eternal love to everybody in the room. Salute to all of you. But yeah, none of these guys in or around Dev have his level of ring IQ, and that's where if you do a tail of the tape, that's where Devin has Rolly. He's got better ring IQ. And Devin's been through the fire. That's the one thing about that Ryan Garcia fight and other fights too. But he's been through trials and tribulations, and we've seen him now and what he did against Brian Norman Jr. So that shows me how far Devin has come in spite of the controversies and the tests and the tribulations. That's why, the creator always has a great way of working things out for your benefit, even if it's a bad thing. Like Devin is mentally stronger. He's physically stronger. He's a better fighter. He's a better boxer because of that debacle that happened, that scandal, and he's come out on the other side of that. And I hope he does get his rematch with Ryan. I really do. After he's done with Rolly, because this Rolly fight is happening. It's not official, but it is happening. 100%. Yeah, Queen. He's gone through the fire. I trust somebody more in the ring that's gone through some adversity. Straight up. Straight up. Straight up. Okay, this is Tim. I
Rolly
haven't.
got some heavy ass hands, and Rolly just postured him. That was it. He just postured him, you know. And Ryan Garcia is the type of guy that likes to be in control. He likes to come forward. He likes to dictate the pace. So anytime you push him back, it takes all that away. It takes all of that away. Now, I'll tell you this, and that's the reason why, you know, Barrios are trying to push him back. But see, Barrios is just dumb. He don't know anything about distance. You know, he's not as fast. You know, and he's not as smart. He don't have an IQ like that, man. You know, a guy like Devin Haney in the first fight, you saw him push Ryan Garcia back a bit.
Speaking of IQ,
he did. You saw him. Even when he got hurt, he pushed him back. Right? He pushed him back. He kept him at the right range and distance. You know, Ryan Garcia doesn't adapt well to level changes at all. You know, that reflex bag has messed him up. He doesn't bend his knees a whole hell of a lot. So, you know, level changes, you know, low-high attacks kills Ryan Garcia's game.
That's true. Ryan doesn't have any. He's a straight-up stand-up fighter. You don't really see him at different levels.
I'm serious. Ryan Garcia can be hit with left hooks as well. You know, especially when a low-high attack, you can be hit with left hooks. Ryan Garcia can get hit with right hands. You know, his let's say, his setup shot, or setup, he either throws probes the cut distance, or he extends with his lead hand like this, right? And then he comes in behind the left hook. Like, his setups are all predictable. And this is what I see, people. And that's why I'm saying, like, you know.
Sister Jaquila, absolute truth. No one else has had the adversities and come through as proven exactly. And not just adversities in the ring, outside of the ring, the way these toxic boxing fans and corporate media turned against him. And he still got in the lab, got with Mickey Bay, decided to fight Brian Norman, put out the hit list. He was undeterred. He was unafraid of still continuing his quest. That's why I respect Devin Haney. He just like, I'm going to keep doing what I was doing before fighting this drug cheat in Ryan Garcia. He's like, nah, I'm going to keep going. And he's a 3-division world champion.
He's not a complete fighter. He's talented, but he's missing some key elements to him to be a complete fighter. That's it. If you can't fight in the inside, that's a problem. That's a huge problem if you can't fight in the inside. And I noticed that Ryan can't fight in the inside. He goes into that scary shell, which is illegal. Okay? Which is illegal.
Okay, so let's talk. You know, Timothy Bradley, you know, we have valid critiques of him, but I mean, we don't need him to tell us. I've been saying that about Ryan. This Philly shell that he does is illegal. He did it against Devin too. You can't turn your back in a fight. And if any ref really wanted to enforce it, you can get DQ'd for that because you're not engaged in the fight. It's just like if you ran away. If you run in a fight, like they do in the mixed martial arts and UFC, they like, there is no running in boxing. This is the taco shell. This man, it's a taco. I've never seen such an atrocious defensive measure in my life. It's the taco shell. That's not no Philly shell. That's an insult to Philadelphia.
Now let's talk about Devin Haney, man. This is what I do. This is literally what I do, man. Devin Haney likes things on his terms. Always. Hates fighting at mid-range. Likes things outside, or he likes to get close, right? And tie your ass up. This dude is the tie-up king. He will tie you up because he doesn't want you to work, right? Devin
Okay.
never allows his opposition to take the play, period. Okay? He never allows you to, okay? Devin has problems with guys with quick feet. Guys that got quick feet, and they can get in range before he can exit or before he can close that range. Devin can't stand that. Okay, Linares, one of those guys with quick ass feet. He was able to close range on his ass, and he was able to hurt Devin. You know, Ryan Garcia got some pretty damn quick feet. He slides and shuffles his feet across the floor. yeah, give Devin issues, right? Anybody that has quick feet, and that's the reason why I was saying, Norman Jr., you better get on chasing them chickens. Chase them damn chickens.
Yeah. Oh boy. Do you see why we have to continually talk about this issue? Who had quicker feet? Yeah, it's like sis sugar-free Mars Queen says Loma is the only one who could have. Yes, thank you. That's a great analogy. Yes, Loma. We can say that about Loma, but he says that about Ryan. Like these guys, I don't know. I don't get it. I do get it. I know. Like I don't.
Man, you know, because you're gonna need quick feet against Dev, okay? Because Dev got great eyes. He has a hell of a boxing IQ. Okay.
Sister Tequila says yes. If the fight had been fair across the board, Ryan would have been DQ'd. Correct. He did the taco shell. He did that taco shell. Absolutely disgraceful rhetoric. It's crazy. They never contextualize. They never say it was an unfair fight. That's why I don't break down the fight with Devin and Ryan like on an X's and O's basis, because I'm like, it just doesn't make any sense to do that. It makes no sense to do that. I'm like, if a fighter was enhanced and had unfair advantages, so
Okay, and he can see things coming. He understands patterns. He can see them coming, right? His recognition is no joke. He's been in the ring. You know, he's training with Mayweather and all these guys. He sparred all Shakur and everybody, man. You know, so he got a high boxing IQ. You know, but that's what Devin is, man. You know, he's one of those guys that can start exchanges. He loves to start exchanges, and he likes to end those exchanges, right? Start and end those exchanges. You know, who else? Keyshawn Davis. Keyshawn.
Oh, I was on mute. My bad. I was on mute. Yes, sis. I saw your comment. Yep. Absolutely. That's him on the screen. Facts. Yes, Queen. Sorry, I was on mute earlier. Yeah, Lamont Griffin, B1. Salute. Salute. Thanks for joining us. Cooney Toon Tim still at it, painting a false narratives out of jail. That's what I'm saying. You guys talk about, and there was other videos I played. They're just talking about Chris Algieri, all of them. They just talk about the Devin Haney versus Ryan Garcia fight like it was just a normal fight. It's disgraceful rhetoric, as the Queen Sugar Free Mars says.
Davis is a control. That's what Devin is, man. You know, he's one of those guys that can start exchanges. He loves to start exchanges, and he likes to end those exchanges, right? Start and end those exchanges. You know, who else? Keyshawn Davis. Keyshawn Davis is a control.
Wow. Yeah, I got no comments. I mean, I already made my comments about it. Like, I just. Oh, these guys. These guys. Oh, I didn't see this either. This is Henry Garcia on another channel. Queen, I felt that way. Queen Shaquilla, I felt that way as well, but now I believe that fight needs to be broken down. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. The issue is the zone. I don't know how we can do a breakdown of that, because if you play any of their stuff, it causes issues with YouTube, as we saw. Remember the last time? Yeah, there's when I started to play the Devin Haney Brian Norman fight, and YouTube blocked the video. And I mean, half of the live is still up on my page, but the other half they totally deleted off my page, because the zone. If you ever play anything from the zone, I've noticed it causes issues. So I don't know. I know Matchroom has the fight on their page too. I'm talking about the Devin Haney Ryan Garcia fight. it might be the same issue, but I don't know. Oh, I appreciate. Yeah, smash the like button on your way in, y'all. Thank you, Queen. Let me get Mr. Mr. Bradley. Smash the like button. Thank you so much for joining, folks. As promised, I'm here on a Saturday doing these breakdowns. Oh yeah, okay. So I think did I download this one already? Okay, I didn't see this. This is Henry Garcia. I don't think he's talking about something else. I think he got in a little debate with Greg Hackett. So I want to see what this is about.
Out of respect.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna tell you why it's fishy. You from California, ain't you?
Chicago, brother.
Chicago.
Come on, brother.
Son is from California, ain't he?
Who?
You saying Ryan? Where's he from? California. Ryan from
California, yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna say you from California too. So this is what I'm saying. You take a kid from 7 years old all the way up into 25 or wherever it happened, right?
Yeah.
You paid attention. You made sure he had everything he needed through his amateur career and then through his professional career. In this one fight where we got to fight in New York, before this fight, we've been taking supplements and we've been training wherever we've been training. But one fight, this one fight, that's the most important fight of his career. It was the biggest fight of his career. We all of a sudden we need him to
I don't think it was the biggest fight of the career, bro. I think Tank was.
All right, whatever. So one fight.
What? That's not true. Devin Haney and Ryan Gray, that's their biggest fight and biggest payday too.
We go meet a guy that we don't know, we never heard of, and we take supplements from him and we don't know him. That sounds fishy.
Well, let me tell you, yeah, that's what I'm trying to say, bro. I wasn't there, Greg.
The delusion is it's delusion. It's Queen. It's delusion. It's grandiose thinking. It's gaslighting. It's all of that. All those words and more. It's unreal.
I'm sorry, I wasn't there.
So why are you speaking on it?
Because you're telling me that he's guilty, and I'm telling you, a person that's a cheater is when somebody is aware. I don't think Ryan I don't even think Ryan knew who Scooter was. And I'm just being honest. I'm giving you facts.
You hear that? Where do you think Ryan right? What? You didn't even know Scooter? Get the hell out of here. Get the hell, come on, man. This is crazy, y'all. Where do you think Ryan gets the lying and the gaslighting from? He gets it from his dad. His dad moves like a con man. Straight up. Where do you think he gets it from? Where do you think he gets the racism from? You can't tell me you didn't, like, come on. You learned that in your household. Remember Nappy Head? He called in the LA presser. At least I don't have a nappy head. And like we said yesterday on the live, like you make Ryan the A side in the rematch with Devin, it'll be a disaster because they're not creative enough to promote a fight properly. They got to use racism to promote a fight, that doesn't require any creativity or charisma or resourcefulness. You're just resorting to the lowest common denominator to promote a fight. Like, we don't want fights promoted through racism. Like, that's bad for the sport of boxing. That's going to turn people away. That's not going to attract new people to the sport. Racism, how's that it's going to attract bad people to the sport, right? Cool JC says that's bullcrap. Ryan knew who's good. Of course he did. Like, come on. Like, facts. Yes, Queen. Imbecility. It is. It's immaturity, imbecility. And like I said, these people are not even ethical, honest people. And I'm speaking about the Garcia crew. Right? Remember in the amateurs, the mom, the dad were the judges and the referee. And Bill said that at the first presser. If you guys got to read between the lines, he said that in the first presser in New York. I followed this promotion from Bill was trying to say that, but you had to understand what he was saying. He's like, I want to talk about the amateurs. And then he made a joke like, y'all, Henry Garcia is throwing his hat in the ring, meaning he was speaking up. And he's like, you were the judge, you were the referee. He was trying to tell us these guys have been cheating in the sport of boxing since the amateur days. Remember, Devin Haney got up in LA at the press conference on the mic and said, we got to get this whole family. He didn't say Ryan. He said the family out of boxing. What do you think he's talking about? If you say we got to get Ryan Garcia out of boxing, that's different. He said the whole family, and I got to find the press conference. We got to get this whole family out of boxing because they've been cheating since the amateurs, USA boxing days. Think about it, y'all. That's why we got to use critical thinking. Don't just look at things at the surface level. Raul Garcia says Sean got robbed in his first fight. Exactly, in California. And Bill Haney put out a tweet about that, like the Victorville special. Just that's what y'all do, right? Sugar Free says they've been counterfeit for years. Yes, Queen. They've been cheating since the amateur days, USA boxing. And I would love Bill Haney to like really explicate that, to break it down. Like, we don't want no political. Bill, tell us straight up. No political correctness. Bill, straight. No diplomacy. Tell us straight up. What were they doing in the amateurs? Because I believe it. I believe it. Right? Lamont Griffin says Henry didn't acknowledge that Ryan's team sent in open supplements with Austrian. No, he's not going to ever acknowledge that. Sent in open supplements with Austrian for testing. I'm going to tell you something. I did my research on this. And listen, my research tells me whoever spiked, we don't know for certain, but let's say it's Ryan or whoever in his team spiked that bottle of NutriBio, right? And sent it in for testing. And then the company came back and said a statement like, hold up, this came to us opened already. Not only was it open, it's like something like Ryan Garcia tested 60 times above the limit for Austrian, right? And then they're like, what's in this bottle is like, there's Austrian in this bottle right now. And we don't even know how it got there. It was opened already. And it's impossible that he could have tested 60 times above the limit with the amount that was spiked in this bottle. It was something to that effect. I got to find the presser, right? The press release. I can find that. I got to find the press release. But I was doing research. That's mail fraud, right? You can't do that. You can't use the U.S. Post Service or whatever private company, maybe UPS. You can't use the mail for fraudulent reasons. That's why I've always been consistent about Ryan Garcia from day one. I've always called him a scoundrel. That's the word I use. Dude is a scoundrel. And to this day, he's going to go to his grave lying and denying the fact that he took Austrian. And you see him talking to these streamers, these little children that don't understand, lying and saying Vada did this and somebody spiked it. He's still saying it to this day. Right? So what are we talking about, Ryan? That's why I always call him. He's a scoundrel. He's a lawbreaker. He's bad. He's bad for the sport of boxing, straight up. And when it comes to Devin Haney, if they ever rematch, him and Bill should just assume dude is microdosing. Let me get this off the screen. And I saw Artman put out a tweet about this. Like, just assume you're fighting a guy that's microdosing and passing VADA tests because, yep, a total degenerate. These people are the most unethical, immoral people I've seen in a long time. And I've come across some very degenerate characters in my lifetime. And these people are disgusting and they're bad for the sport with all the lying they do and the cheating. And I would love Bill Haney one day, like I said, to explicate What were they doing in the? Let's start from the root cause. What were they doing in the amateurs? Right, right. You guys, you and your son is 3-3 with them. It's 3-3. That match they had was supposed to be the rubber match for all the marbles. Right, and he cheated your son. But is this a pattern? Is this a trend? Right, the best predictor of present behavior or future behavior is past behavior. So they've been cheating. So this is actually not new. Do you understand what I'm saying, y'all? This is not new. They've been cheating from the amateurs. So of course Ryan cheated Devin in the professionals. When it all counted, there was no rematch clause. The stakes were high. Ryan calculated that, let me just go ahead and get this victory. Remember, Ryan's mind is like, maybe I won't get caught. There's a possibility because I haven't been getting caught by Avada. And he was putting out statements like, oh, I just passed my Avada test. This was in the promotion to the fight. Yes, Queen. Absolutely. Yeah. This is in promotion of the fight. He was acting surprised when he was putting on. He sounded like he was shocked that he was passing the Avada test. Why is that? We all seen the video of him with the IVs. So he's like, he probably thought, damn, I haven't been caught yet. Shit, I might get away with this. See, I'm showing you what they call in the law, because I've studied law. It's called mens rea, which means a guilty mind. And in fact, to be convicted in law by a jury or a judge, the prosecution has to show, and I'm going somewhere with this, but the prosecution has to show that the person who broke the law had a guilty mind. Mens rea. Look it up. Right? That's why Ryan didn't contest the NYSEC findings, the New York State Athletic Commission findings. And if you read some of the documents online from NYSEC, it's hard to find, but you got to look. And I know it's circling on Twitter. He didn't contest their findings, that there was adverse analytical findings. I believe it was in his urine. They said the urine. In his urinalysis, they found adverse impact findings. So that's the guilty mind. He didn't contest it because he knew he was guilty. See, I mean, this goes deep, and we have to always talk about cheating, because right now there are revisionists, historical revisionists, trying to suggest that, like you hear, they never contextualize the cheating. They never do, right? It's absolutely diabolical, folks. It's evil, as I always say. It's evil.
On the horizon, Devin Haney and Rolly just got announced. What are your thoughts on that fight?
I mean, Rolly's on a chance if he get lucky hit hand, which I doubt he could do. So I think Haney beats him, but Rolly doesn't have a punch of chance. So what people fail to realize about Rolly, like I said about Ryan, Rolly is not your everyday average boxer, but he has abnormal punching power. If he hits anybody, he can knock him out. He like Prince Nassim, just not quite as skillful as Prince Nassim. Same kind of punching power though.
Is he underrated? He seems like he doesn't get a lot of respect. You got Clarissa Shields calling him out.
Yeah, he don't get a lot of respect because they know his boxing IQ ain't the best. So that's why they underestimate him. But his punching power is beyond best. His punching power is abnormal. So he has subpar boxing skills, but abnormal boxing punching power. So it makes it kind of balance out. And people fail to realize that.
Fair use, YouTube. Fair use. Fair use.
Now, he beat Ryan, and then Devin, like psychologically, Ryan beat Devin. Does that give Raleigh
psychologically? Okay, let me breathe. Queen.
Peace, can you hear me?
Peace. Salute. Yes, Queen, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Oh, what's up? Yeah, I hear you. Hold on. Let me arrange this.
Yeah, I just had to take a breather, so I'm glad you're tuning in.
Salute, Kang. How are you?
I'm good. How are you this lovely? I don't know how the weather is there, but is it warmer?
It's decent. Not too bad, I guess, for this time of year. Yeah, it's actually like 56, 57 degrees, which is
Oh, okay.
very good
Okay.
for this time of year in, on
Yeah.
the East Coast, Northeast. So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm so glad you're here. It's amazing. Thank you for joining. I had to come through. I said I was gonna come on a Saturday, so I'm
Yes,
here.
and I saw here once again, I was strolling in these YouTube streets just randomly, and I'm like, oh, the king is on. So you already know I had to be 10 toes in support and come
Amazing.
through
Oh
and
my
check on
God,
you.
you guys, the family. This is so. Yeah,
Peace and
we're
love to
close.
the family in the chat. Salute. I
Yeah.
shared the video as well on my page to let people know that you were live, so we could get some
Oh,
coming
you're
up. Yeah, I
amazing.
did that a little bit earlier when I first came into the room. I made sure to share it on my page.
Oh, amazing. Thank you, Queen. Oh, salute to Brother Slim Hussein. Salute, bro. See, the family's coming through.
Oh,
It's
salute to the
amazing.
King Slim. Salute to you.
Yeah.
Good
Thank you.
afternoon.
Thank you for sharing it on your page too. Yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah. So yeah, we've been, yeah, I don't know what your initial thoughts are and just what you've been hearing. I've been just playing literally break. You've seen, I'm just trying to find everybody's breakdown of this fight.
Yeah, I see. I
You
see.
know. And some of them
Yeah.
I'm seeing for the first time.
Yeah, same here. Same here. I've kind of touched upon a little bit, scrolling through those crazy Twitter streets, right? I've seen
Hmm.
some little people posting little snapshots of people's perspectives on it. I have not really dove really deeply into what those perspectives were, but I have been seeing people giving their dispositions and predictions and things like that. I've been seeing that that's been had, um, but I haven't necessarily, like I said, dove in yet. Just for
Hmm.
my own reasons, I'm not. I don't really want to. I just want to get the fight signed. That's really where my mind is. And when I see that everything is officiated and
Right.
validated, then I will tap into. That's what I thought of it at least. But I think it's good
Right.
that you are surfacing, these perspectives and speaking about it because it really gives an interesting glimpse into, like we were talking about earlier, the overall trend that we see within a lot of these quote unquote experts and stuff like that, and the reticence that we see being
Mm.
kind of passed down and regurgitated from one person to the next, to the next, to the next. This type of reticence in acclaiming the young King Devin. Yeah,
Yes. Yeah.
interesting.
Reticence. There's
Are reserved about that, which is interesting.
yeah, there's like a holding back of
Mhm.
like a full-throated opinion, full-throated, sorry, opinion,
Yeah,
and couching it with a but or this,
yeah,
um,
yeah.
and
And,
not
and it's,
acknowledge.
it's
Yeah.
interesting as well. It's like
Hmm.
I think like it's interesting to me that they always try to denote the fact or always preface the dialogue with the fact that this person has a puncher's chance, and like you had posited earlier with the whole disposition that people were holding about being the power puncher, right? The way that they had approached Brian Norman Jr., right? Oh, you got to be careful. He's an immense power puncher. Same thing with Rolly. Oh, he has power. He has this. So there's this overemphasis of the power aspect in here. But that in the case of Rolly, people are putting faith, even though they are not saying it, because they know that Rolly isn't necessarily as skilled, right? Comparatively
Right.
speaking, nowhere near the class of Devin Haney as far as skills, but there is a faith being placed in the aspect of the puncher's chance as far as Rolly is concerned. They are placing faith and reverence upon that, even though they are not really outrightly saying, well, I'm going with Rolly because he is a power puncher XYZ. There is still being some weight attributed to the aspect that, oh, well, if he gets hit with one shot, so it's almost like they are praying for that to happen. Like, oh well, he can get caught. He can get caught, which is like, yes, that's not to take away anything, but anything can happen in boxing, right? And there's no
Right.
impossibilities in boxing. We have, us diehards have seen the impossible happen a million times. Okay, but
Yes.
the way that they place faith within that probability is interesting to me because we don't necessarily see that as strongly when it comes to other fighters, right? I think it's
Right.
interesting. I just
And
find that
in relation to Devin Haney, like
yeah,
fighting Devin Haney.
yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
Like, yeah, you hear this faith thing with Brian Norman Jr. and now Rolly. When what I'm saying is or what you're saying, when they face Devin Haney. So
Yeah.
there's like a hoping to dethrone. That's what I picked up in when I was talking to people on Twitter Spaces sometimes with the Brian Norman buildup,
Mm.
and they kept saying like, he packs a punch and he can really crack. And speaking of Brian
Mhm.
Norman, and it's a dangerous fight, and I'm hearing the same words in
Mhm.
50-50. This is the
Mhm.
same language. Like, it's not new.
Mhm.
It's not new. And I did a live yesterday, and I think Brother B, we had spoke. Brother B was on the live, and he's like, they've been doing this with Devin even before the riot. Like, they did it with Linares, they did it with
Mhm.
Regis Prograis.
Yes, they did.
Um,
They
they
absolutely did.
always bigged up his opponents as this faith that you're talking about.
Yep.
You know,
Yep.
yeah, faith in power. Brother Slim says faith in power and possibly drugs when it comes to Devin. Yeah,
Yeah, facts. Absolute facts.
faith
Absolutely.
in
Speaking of the
yeah.
drugs, the Slim, the King Slim, made me recollect. It goes back to what you were getting into, King, earlier when you were displaying Henry Garcia's talking, and then you were getting into the aspect of their counterfeit history, right? Um,
Hmm.
I can't help but to feel in seeing some of the opinions that you've laid out of some of these people who have given their perspective, you know, you know, draw back into the Ryan fight, right? We have seen this time and time again. Oh, well, we've seen Devin, how he looks against the left hook now. Oh, don't forget, Devin got hit with the left hook. Didn't the left hook put Devin down? Remember, there's a susceptibility to the left hook. So there's always
Mm,
a citing of, there's always a reference to um,
yes,
the fight that was ruled ultimately a no contest and removed from the history books, essentially. But people,
it's
there is this need to always remind people, you know, that Devin Haney had been put in a compromised position, but what they fail to include is the context, like you said earlier, the context, right?
context.
And of course, the context was that Riri the racist is a drug cheat. He is a drug cheat.
Facts.
He has been proven as one. He was found guilty of drug
Guilty.
cheating in that fight. So there's
Hmm.
a senselessness, there's a senseless need, there's an incessant need that these people have who hold that mindset, that view, that want to refer to that fight with racist Riri. Okay, they refrain, they withhold the fact of the context. They withhold that Ryan
Yeah.
was on performance enhancing drugs. So it's sickening to me when I hear these perspectives. It's like, if you want to make your analysis and you want to make your contribution and give your posit on what you think is going to be of the Rolly fight or whatever, that's fine. I have no problem with that. Everyone is
Mhm.
entitled to do their own reconnaissance and make up their own minds based on whatever information that they have, right? But the problem for me is that people want to bypass. They want to absolutely, whitewash all over the fact that performance enhancing drugs was a catalyst for Ryan Garcia. That is why he took them. That is why he came in overweight. That is why he took drugs, so that he can have a clear advantage over Devin Haney. And he used that to his advantage completely and totally. So that to reference that fight is absolutely asinine and ridiculous to me.
I refuse to do X's and O's on the fight. I refuse to analyze it that way
Yep,
because what's the point?
exactly.
There's no point. And There was something you said. Yeah, catalyst. Yeah, it's there's lying, right? There's lying by commission and lying by omission.
Yes.
And these people are liars because they're making their analyses and not contextualizing anything, and they're
Absolutely.
leaving out very pertinent information, like
Absolutely.
3.2 pounds and ostarine and nandrolone. Okay,
That's
fine.
right. And nandrolone. That's
And
right.
that's somebody in the UK reminded me. They're like, stop talking about ostarine. Did you have to say nandrolone too?
You must say nandrolone because that was also found in his system. 1000%.
Yeah, like
To
okay,
the
fine. The second test, inconclusive. Yeah, but the first test was they found it.
That's
So
right.
what are we talking about? They're not supposed to find anything in a drug test,
Exactly.
and it's strict liability. It's in New York,
One
as
thousand percent. 1000%. And
so.
that is why, speaking of, I'm sorry to cut you off.
No, no,
You
it's all
go ahead.
good.
Okay. Yeah, the when you said New York, it just popped into my mind
Right.
is that, of course we heard that the Rolly fight was going to be taking place initially in Brooklyn at the Barclays, only to now be said to be
Mm.
pending for Las Vegas instead, which initially raised some eyebrows for me. I'm not even gonna cap. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I don't know how DHP is looking at that. Obviously, they agreed to it, so I don't think that they are worried, being that they intend, of course, to um, ensure the VADA testing take place. But I do have my reserves about the change of location because I know the leniency, the tolerance levels differ
Mm.
greatly in Las Vegas than they do of that of New York State. So that's something interesting that I had my eyes looking at as well when I heard about that the change of state.
That's what? Yeah, because listen, there's cause and effect. So
Mm-hmm.
why was this changed? Like we have to act like, oh boy, we
Mm-hmm.
gotta like we're cognizant, as you like to say, like we're aware boxing fans, but like that you just raised a great like why the change? Who decided this?
Mm-hmm.
What's the purpose of it? Was at the Barclays, and all of a sudden I'm not complaining about it. Like, okay, fine, MG, it's a great venue, MGM
Right.
Grand, but why?
Right.
These why? I would like to hear from somebody because what you just said is true. The what's this right? Fam keep speaking the truth. Gotta do something. Sure. Oh, okay, yeah, yeah. And then Brother Slim Hussein says, remember, stacking of the wraps is legal in Vegas. Stacking wraps. Say,
Right. That's interesting.
see, stacking wraps
Legal in
in
Vegas.
brother
Wow.
brother BF's chat last night. It got it late, but in a way was on the screen, and there was a little chat going on, little, and we were talking
Yeah.
about the stacking of the gloves, and I mean,
Yes.
stacking of the wraps, stacking of the gloves, stacking of the wraps, you know,
Yes. Absolutely. A lot
and
of leniency in Las Vegas for myriad things. Of course, the most prominent in my mind, of course, is the level of the admittance of drugs in one system, the tolerance level of drugs, depending on what that particular drug is. The
mhm.
allowable limits are far higher than they would be in somewhere like New York State.
Right, which remind me. Okay, I swear the Austrian levels in New York State, it was something like -0.01, meaning you can't have it basically. Like, and
Yeah,
then
so it changed. So the New York, hold on, let me athletic
yeah,
commission.
that's what I remember. Then salute to everyone coming in the room. By the way, Lamont, exactly. Rolly's power wasn't
Yeah,
there against Rolls.
it wasn't always first of all, it was completely banned. I want to say that right after the whole drug cheating scandal
Mhm.
with racist Riri. Remember there was a commissioner that had retired right
Mhm.
after the debacle, and so that
Yes.
whoever came in to take to replace that, whoever that was, um, upon their arrival, the state, the commission, for whatever reason, had raised that limit. So I believe it's to now. So I think it says
Unreal.
upon visit the prohibited drug list, it looks like oxytocin is likely to fly if it's under 0.1 nanograms. So long as it's under that limit,
Under. Okay.
um, you know, it's considered admissible. Whereas before there was absolutely no amount that could be found in your system prior to that debacle with
Wow.
yeah. So they had
And
raised it 0.1 right now.
that explains Matthias.
Right.
That
Which is why
explains Subriel.
what was found in his system was just underneath that allowable limit. Absolutely.
In New York, yeah, it was in New York, and I
Mhm.
remember the news broke like not another drug cheat in Austrian again,
Yes.
and then all
Yes.
of a sudden, maybe a couple months later or a few weeks later, he was cleared.
Exactly. He was
I'm
cleared
like,
to fight.
what's going on? Salute to Sister Cam. Salute to Sister.
Oh, beautiful sis. Hey, Cammy Cam. Salute to
Yes.
my beautiful sis.
Y'all, thank you for coming in the room. Yeah, like I was, man. So New York. I mean, let's just be honest. Like, we're talking about corruption.
Absolutely. Through and
I mean,
through.
we're talking about corruption at the commission levels, and especially in Nevada,
Absolutely.
where the raps is, stacking raps and
Mhm.
Austrian levels and
Mhm.
all this kind of shenanigans,
Mhm.
and
It's absolutely bewildering to me. Why any, state commission in a sport that is already laced and replete with precarity, as far as like the fighters' lives are already in precarity. Why the hell would there be any admittance of or tolerance for drugs, performance enhancing drugs? It makes no sense. Nothing can make that make sense to me. Nothing can substantiate that for me. That a fight that is already dangerous, already having lives in the balance on a clean level,
on a clean
why
level,
there
yeah.
would be an admittance of or tolerance for the allowing for any drug to be found in a fighter's system. It's absolutely ridiculous. Except for you having a system in place, long in place, that obviously sees and pays attention to and adheres to the differences within the cultures of people who fight, because it is no secret, that Black fighters, okay, Black American fighters, your Cuban fighters, okay, we can even go stretch out to the Dominican, right, who adopt this particular boxing style, have physical attributes in many areas that supersede that of non-Blacks. That's
Right.
not something to be shy about. You know what I mean? Black
Or
people have all.
saying out loud. Yeah, say
That's
it out
right.
loud.
Right.
Mhm.
These are just things to be proven. And so in order to compensate for the things that they lack or they feel that they lack psychologically in knowing these truths, they make up for it. They try to recoup,
Wow.
reinforce their own power trips by taking in what is ultimately a performance enhancer to enhance their performance against the competitors that they already feel bypass their skills. Interesting
And that
stuff.
they
And when
feel
we look at it in that context,
inferior
you
to.
have to face that reality in boxing, in sports in general.
Sports, it's not just boxing. Yeah, but we see the race at boxing though. I mean, the
Mm-hmm.
racial, like that. When you were saying this, I was like, but you already stole it out of my mind. I'm like, well, it does make sense in the sense of racial dynamics. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
like black and white. Now it makes sense why. I mean, you just posited that. Why would you allow drugs? Well, it does make sense if people think they're inferior to the black fighter.
Mm-hmm.
Then it's like now it makes total sense. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
Queen, Sister Chiquila, thank you so much for the cash app. I really thank you, Queen. Wow. The family's amazing. Thank you so much
Facts,
for
the
the
good
cash app.
family.
Wow. Thank you. Yes, smash the like button, y'all. Share the video. We got Queen Sugar Free Mars cooking with us. So this is a blessing. Blessing. Yes. Yeah, but sis, Yeah, I just can't. It does make sense because like when I saw the Ryan, you just let me share it with you. It's like if I when I saw Mario Barros and Ryan,
Mm-hmm.
when I saw before the bell and I saw Ryan's demeanor and I saw his physique,
Mm.
once again I had that. I'm like something is off. Same
Mm.
feeling I had with him and Devin, the first round. Not the way he looked, although okay, let me back it up. I was concerned when I saw the way he looked in in the dressing room against Devin
Mm.
in the blue shirt. I don't know if you saw all that, but at the my intuition was like something's weird. I'm like he looked jacked, he looked huge.
Mm. He definitely
Right.
looked so much bigger than Dev. That I do recall. In the
Yeah,
ring. In the ring.
in the
I
ring.
just remember going, wow, he's so much bigger than Dev. You know what I'm saying? And of course, at that time, we only had um, the context of him, us knowing that he had already, missed weight, so that, I was expecting that, of course, to be a factor. But in seeing him in the ring in real time, how much he had rehydrated or how much he had bounced back was absolutely evident, and the contrast between stature, between him and Devin was astounding. And then you compound the fact um, that he was on performance enhancing drugs that night, and just in his system, in his training and stuff like that. The micro dosing throughout his camp was just unbelievable. It was dumbfounding for sure.
Yeah, and we didn't know this. I didn't know it. I
At
didn't know that
all.
I had no clue. I have to be honest with you. Like I knew something was off because it felt off,
Yeah.
but I didn't know it was like you just don't know what you don't know.
Yes.
And it's crazy how man, this guy, I mean, that's why I call it evil. I'm like, God damn, this whole time,
For real, for real.
right? And I posted on my Twitter a photo at the LA press conference. Do you remember when Ryan sort of bowed his head and he couldn't look Devin in the eyes at the LA presser, and he sort of just cowered away.
Was
And I
that
remember,
were they facing off?
yeah, this was the LA one, so not the New York one. The next day
Yeah.
they had it, and
Yes,
they
I
had a
remember.
face off, and he couldn't look Devin in the eyes.
Yeah, I think he turned first. He turned really fast. He wound up turning away first, and Devin was still head on, like looking at him. Right? Is that what you mean? Because that's what I'm thinking.
Yes,
Okay. Yeah.
yes, and I'll try to find the clip, but and I heard someone in the audience say, "Man, he's having a mental breakdown." I swear to God, I heard this
Wow.
because he looked terrified of Devin.
Yes,
He
he
looked
did look super jittery. He was super jittery. You know what I mean, I guess that was half that goddamn coke, half the roid rage, half the embarrassment, half the guilt. You know what I mean? All of that was probably working.
oh shit. Oh my God, these idiots. Ban. So I'm sorry, sis.
Uh-uh.
These freaking
Hey,
idiots. I'm
somebody did
so
that on
pissed off.
somebody did that on Artman channel when we was on.
Oh my God. I'm
Yeah,
sorry, sis. I'm sorry. These idiots.
yeah, do not let anybody up
It's
Oh
a
my
here.
Ryan fan.
God.
It's a Ryan fan.
Yeah.
I'm so upset.
That's a Ryan
Okay.
fan, man.
I never let anybody. I'm so upset at myself, actually.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, sir.
DF and Drew Titan always speak about how
Oh
these
my
yes,
God.
Yeah, they did
disgusting
that to
human
Art a
beings
few
do that.
times.
So yeah, they kind of
Yeah.
pre-screen before they let anybody up on the panel. So definitely consider doing that.
I'm so sorry.
No
My
need to
apologies.
apologize. It's not your
Okay.
fault. That's the fucking idiot's fault who have no class and no maturity.
And their point is to derail us, which I'm
Yeah,
not going to allow. That's
Nah,
yeah. I'm not going to allow that.
facts.
Yeah, anyways, let's move on. Yeah, I'm so sorry. I've sort of lost that's not
Yeah,
never going to happen again.
facts. So yeah, you were
Um,
talking about that presser and how
yeah, yeah,
idiot
yeah.
Sharon was looking.
Yeah, and I tweeted that this is the moment that uh he decided to take PEDs. That's what I said. At this moment, I think is, and I was being serious. I'm like, this is when, if he wasn't juicing then, he's like, I gotta do whatever is necessary.
I think he had been juicing, man. I think he
Mm-hmm.
been juicing because remember when he first pushed Devin, when he threw everybody off guard. Like at the first when they first started like promoting the fight. You remember? On like the bodyguards and all that, he pushed Devin and all that. Remember that?
Yeah, the very first time.
You could tell he was like, listen to his voice, bro. Like
Yeah, his whole
it's
voice
like
was
an
all.
undertone of like a skinny, wimpy kid with like a undertone of like steroid. Like, yeah,
Yeah,
you're
he's
gonna feel
all
some fucking
hoarse.
pain, right? Like he sounds like he on that shit. And then remember, people have already suspected him of juicing well before this. Tank Davis being one of them. You know, Paulie Malignaggi, few people. So I think he was already on that shit.
Yeah, that's where he says, didn't I say you'll feel that fear? Didn't I say
Yeah,
you'll
that
feel that?
shit.
And it sounded very honest,
Just listen to that shit. Yeah,
inauthentic.
like listen to his voice, man. Like you can just, yeah, you can like he on that shit. He
Yeah,
on that
yeah,
shit.
yeah. He was partying, and I just think at that moment though, with the LA presser, he knew he was defeated. He knew he was cooked.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he was like, I'm going to use any and unusual means necessary to beat Devin. And
Mm-hmm.
then he said also, Brother Freedom's March, yo, salute to the good family. He's in the building. I remember,
Salute. Counterpart.
salute to Brother Freedom's. Everyone's here. I remember he said, oh, in New York at the weigh-in, it's like, you guys, they were booing him because he cheated the weight. They're like, you guys will all be sucking my, you know what, after I beat
Mm-hmm.
Devin. And very arrogant because he knew he was on that stuff. We
And he was
didn't know.
ultimately he was super disrespectful. Like I said yesterday, he never Ryan was never like that. He never was like that in a build up to a fight. He
Exactly.
he was like the good kid kind of like we were saying. Like he just went off the handle, and just surprised everybody. And now he's stuck. He's stuck in that shit. Like he trying to fear the Lord and all this bullshit, but it's like he's stuck. You know, because he came out of
Yeah.
left field with that shit. Like Brian was kind of like a respectful kid, being honest, before this shit, but he just couldn't lose to Devin. You know, after that loss to Tank, you know, the
And it's so
perception of Devin
underrated.
being bad. Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, King.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, so the whole idea of this, the severity of it is absolutely overlooked and swept under the rug. And it's, even though we are, what is that, 2 years removed, as we're hitting two
Mm,
years.
Years and
I think next
change.
month makes 2 years officially.
Oh yeah. 2 years, yeah.
Yeah, 2 years removed from it. And the fact that this has been, everything possible has been done to inculcate um, the boxing public with this assumption, with this notion that this man is innocent, that he is blameless, that he is spotless,
See,
that he was just misguided and that he was just troubled, and all of these
crazy, bro.
scapegoats being used to cloak the fact that this man is a scumbag, a whole dirtbag, a whole sucker out here. You know what I
Piece of
mean?
shit.
And it's ridiculous that people, refuse to have this conversation. You know what I mean? Outside of us, like the conscious, boxing community, people who we rock with, like Champ Side and all. You know what I'm saying? The King Stephen, of course, myself, who tries to stand 10 toes on this. F, you know what I mean? LDBC generally, outside of the small context of that conscious community and the conscious brothers and sisters, the general landscape does everything in their power to refrain from having this conversation, from doing any level of reconnaissance on what took place and why, and they refuse to impart any punitive action. Okay, so that he served his one
yes.
man, but what are the other punitive measures that should be taken? Should he be allowed, to get up there and gasconade on podcast after podcast, just lulling about as if he's just walking on
He wasn't
rainbows.
a cheat. Exactly.
Should he be given opportunities to be calling out by the likes of people like Shakur Stevenson or whatever? Should athletes be even looking at him as if he is a worthy competitor in general? He should be land-based through and through. There is no moment in time where this man should not be censured or castigated or something like that. That should be ongoing, because this man is a whole fraud. Absolutely deficient in character. So it always blows my mind whenever I tap into this subject, or I think about it any type of way, that there has been a whole pardoning of that coward. An entire pardoning has been happening and still happens. We see people, he get on these platforms or whatever, those major platforms of old media. These people just cuss at this man ridiculously, absolutely baby him. They try to mollify the reality of what was done. What he had done. That's what he did. And people refuse to hold that man's feet to the fire. It's just absolutely
I think it's because
mind-blowing.
all of them they know that it's all dealing. This what I feel. I think it's testament that just how racist boxing is, because they don't care. It's like Devin. That's an former undisputed champion that he
That's
beat.
right.
Black, young, slick champion. Like, it really means something to them to beat one of us. You understand? So when they did that, and then when he came out as a racist, it's like I feel like they secretly, cheer him on. They
Yes.
want him to win. That's how much they hate us, and they want us to lose.
Mm-hmm.
Understand? It's a sick thing, but I'm glad it happened so people can see in a
Right.
weird way. You gotta understand me when I say that. I'm glad it happened so people can see this shit. Because boxing is very racist, very dirty. And yes, bro, everything you just said, um, how the corporate world, the corporate, as far as like Ring and all of these different companies and old media,
They
they
crowned
don't
him
hold him
because
accountable.
of what he did. He
And
was
they're
crowned.
doing a disservice
That's
to
right.
history, because it's like they just gloss right over it. Like, oh yeah, that big defeat you had over Devin Haney a couple years ago. And I'm like, and then they don't say nothing about the cheating. Some of them do, but they do it in a dry ass way.
Yeah.
Like, it didn't mean shit. Like, and
Mm-hmm.
it's just sick. I wake up every day because I love boxing to death. But I wake up every day thinking like, what the fuck? What world are we living in? But
Mm-hmm.
it's crazy, man. It's crazy.
Yeah. Salute to Mr. Roll Tide. Salute. The family's coming through. Roll Tide, Alabama. Yeah. Yeah, it's sick.
Shows you
It's
how much
they have the visuals that they needed,
the
that
imagery,
they
exactly.
you know so all this other stuff, it literally, the fight is a no contest. The so-called win was taken away, rightfully so. Yet I hear day after day, whether it's Gabe Rosado or whoever, talking shit and acting like,
God.
I mean,
It's
it's
a lot of hate in
disgusting.
boxing. It's
And I saw
understandable.
that Gabe Rosado interview, and I said this yesterday to you, be like, Errol Spence actually liked the tweet that I said, like, this is like a weak culture. These podcasters were like laughing about, oh yeah, Devin can't get away, the whole left hook narrative.
Right. Right.
And Gabe Rosado, like, he's a hater. This guy's a hater. Obviously, it's so obvious. He's a jealous hater, right? But Errol Spence liked that tweet because I was saying, I didn't say directly the culture, but I said there's a culture in the sport of boxing that is okay with this.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, like, and
But
I'm
Errol
not a hater.
Spence,
I'm not a hater, but I'm seeing patterns and trends. I'm like, is anybody gonna call this out? The Reynoso camp and Ryan Garcia and all these guys popping dirty, even Subriel Matias. Yes, he's a brother, but he's of
That's right.
he's the Hispanic persuasion, if you
Right.
will.
Same thing with Janabek, right? Janabek
Janabek.
completely went
uh,
under the
but
rug.
Remember Errol Spence? He when Henry said that nappy head shit, and you remember Derek James was right there. Remember Errol Spence called him out for that shit. Like, remember on Twitter, he was like,
Yes.
he kind
Oh
of
yeah, he did.
disassociated himself, even though they was going through their rift already, you know. But he was like, he basically was like, how you gonna sit up there and not say nothing to that when you on their side, you know?
He did. You're
So
right.
Spence always kind of stood tall, even though I was a Crawford fan. I'm from Dallas, but I argue with everybody here about Spence. But you know, I like Spence outside the ring. Don't like his style, but inside the ring, but outside the ring, he is strong, brother.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I always feel
Yeah.
like we need more stand-up Black fighters. People who are
Shorty.
unapologetic, and I think that's just true of our culture across the board. I think and this is probably me stretching beyond the parameters of boxing, but I'm always socially inclined. Um, I think that there needs to be an expression of um, ourselves more readily and more unapologetically. I think that there is no better time than now, you know, to begin, claiming and reclaiming um, our stature, most certainly as Black people in America, and wherever we may be on the planet, of course. But of course we are here, so we talk about the family here. Um,
Right.
I think sports has always been highly and deeply representative. And like we spoke about last time, I think we had this, we kind of shadowed this particular point was, the reticence that the Black fighters and the Black fanship have in claiming space as opposed to, for example, let's say the Mexican fan base, or, whatever other
Hmm.
culture, who are heavily steeped, in their boxing life. They are heavily steeped. They are heavily um, immersed in their culture, and they bring that to the ring with them. I think that, the Black fanship, the Black fighters themselves, even ought to start taking the reins, not only of, I guess, the symbolic, right, even though that is absolutely paramount as well, but just of the mental space, our education of ourselves and the history that we are thus representing. That needs to be something of a focus and a focal point and an aim all the time for us, whatever level that we may be on, right? From the very basic to, whatever you want to, call it the utmost, the conscious community or whatever have you. But that I think that we have a duty as Black people in boxing, to have a stature about ourselves, to be unapologetic and forthright and upright in who we are and what it is that we are representing, because it is our representation in this sport. And wherever we step in, we got to step correctly, and we got to step with some knowing, um, that we are, um, that we are ready to express our power, our supremacy as every human being has the right to express as a living being, right? So,
Hmm.
um, I don't know if that'll ever come to pass in boxing, but that should be the homework of um, every Black American, is to represent to whatever degree possible
Right.
that level of uprightness, and to educate oneself on one's history, from one's family history to the total history, the shared history of the collective culture. And I think like boxing for us would be a so much more fun place, a so much more gallant uh, place for us to be representative of these things that we hold and we love and we value, if that were expressed unapologetically and forthrightly. Um, but yeah, I don't know how likely that is. Maybe that's just me thinking out loud and dreaming out loud. But fighters like
Hmm.
EJ, fighters like Deontay Wilder, fighters like Devin Haney, and of course Bill Haney. Um, they all are different. For example, they don't all express their supremacy as beautiful Black brothers in the same way. EJ is very soft spoken. Devin is very soft spoken, right? And then
Right.
you got somebody who is out with it, like Wilder. And then you have a mixture of the two in somebody like Bill Haney, but that we could all find our way, but that the ultimate goal is to understand what that is, and however you express it, is however you express it, but that there should be an understanding of what that means, and that we have a stage to represent that on in the best way possible. It's not it's I don't think it should be excluded just because we are, in a boxing space, as I always say.
Right. That stature that you always speak about, the stature and
Yes.
self-respect.
Yes.
I remember hearing a lecture live of Dr. Frances Cress Welsing. I heard her live.
Oh my
And she
goodness.
said,
Beautiful
yeah,
dancer.
I've heard her live. Yeah, she's passed on to
Yes,
the
she has.
ancestral
Rest in peace,
realm.
Neely Fuller and Francis Cress.
Yes, the
Rest in
great
peace to
thing,
both of
Neely
them.
Fuller, absolutely. Yes.
Rest in
Yeah,
peace to both of
yeah.
them.
And she said we have to practice. I always remember this. I'll remember it till the day I die. We have to practice maximum self-respect. I'll never
Absolutely.
forget. And there's a reason why my channel is called Respect.
Absolutely, Kay. I love
Because
that.
I'll never forget what she said. And I was a live lecture. I never forget. We have to practice. She said maximum self-respect, not just
Absolutely.
self-respect.
Yeah, I know y'all probably already know this, but I just want to say this because y'all stay doing what y'all doing because boxing boxing was like the biggest sport from like the early 1900s to like the 80s, and like Muhammad Ali was getting millions of dollars while the Lakers and them were getting $100,000 for a contract. So boxing was like the biggest sport, and I feel like it's coming back in a major way. And y'all having being dug in, you know, just wait for y'all spot because with the Saudis that came in, because the Saudis, I think they saw like America is going back in that direction, because like I said, before football and basketball and all that shit start to take over, boxing was a sport, and I feel like it's coming back to that. So y'all just keep doing what y'all doing, and I think y'all gonna have like a nice carved out spot. But people, we just gotta stay on code, because I feel like the racial element is gonna be a big play, with the future for boxing, like it's always been. But we need to, like y'all said, establish a base, for we support our fighters, respect them, and hold them to a standard, because boxing is coming back, in a big way, in a very big way. And Turkey understood that. I think Dana understood
Hmm.
that. They saw the current model. They see that it's still corrupt. It's not doing what it's supposed to do, and but it's coming back, bro. So y'all just keep doing what y'all doing. If y'all get what I'm saying,
Yeah, I definitely
Yeah.
get what you're saying.
yeah, stay
Remember
dug
when
in
remember
because
when
man,
Turkey said in New York? Remember he said in New York, I don't talk about race. I don't
Yeah,
talk
about the
about
black
color.
heavyweight.
Yes. Hmm.
That's
I
right.
mean,
can't separate race and boxing though.
he didn't say it in the
Can't.
most articulate way, but
Oh yeah, he speaks Arabic.
um,
But the
yeah,
message was meant to be coherent and
it was
intelligent.
received.
Hmm.
Boxing was
Yeah,
the
he was
biggest
trying to
sport, man.
articulate like nothing is boxing, nothing, there's no boxing without the heavyweight, and there's no boxing without the black American heavyweight champion of the world.
Hmm.
That's really what he was saying, I think.
I really
Yes.
don't even know where pinpoint where boxing kind of took a hit. I don't. It's like I don't know. It's like the '80s was pretty good. The '90s. I don't know. Floyd wasn't really that big. He was there, but I don't really know where it took it. But it just kind of the American public just, you know, it wasn't the biggest sport anymore. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if football, baseball, and basketball just took over, but I feel like it's coming back in a major way. The ring, they're buying all type of shit. They just bought EA Sports, I believe. They buying all type of shit. Like they over there doing comedy, movies. They know.
Well, where is our Muhammad Ali? You know,
People gonna say I'm a super fan, but I feel like Devin is the young Muhammad Ali, but he not a heavyweight. Of course, there's differences, but that's how I feel, man.
I
in
think for
terms
me,
of like how much people hate him and shit. A lot of different other factors, but you know.
yeah, I think for me, at this particular point, at least when I look into my mind's eye, um,
Mhm.
I don't know the trajectory of boxing. I don't know where it will be, let's say in 20 years. I would like to think that it'll, maintain, this a level of stature, right? That is similar to where it's been
It's
and
gonna be
where
big.
out for it to be now. But I think maybe that's why I fight so vehemently for um, Black warriorship. And I always make it a point in my discussions um, to always veer it back to Black elite warriorship, because that is the very aspect and avenue that seems to be, um, there is always an attempt to thwart that. There is always some type of mitigation happening when that conversation is on the table. People want to uh, curtail it, if not, outrightly bypass it altogether. Its importance, its place, and its stature in the sport. And I think, to your point about the young King Devin, um, I think to the degree that we have seen him so propagandized, uh,
Hmm.
and ostracized, is why I stand so fiercely, um,
Yeah.
to make sure that I give him my acknowledgement. And I
Mhm.
think it's the same way for people like the young lion Abdullah, who I am very passionate about. It's even for people like Benavidez, who is also one of my favorite fighters, because these people fight in they fight. They don't ever keep me wondering what are they going to be doing, or what are they doing. Why are
Right.
they wasting time? Why are they sitting on the sidelines? These men, care about legacy. Uh, you know what I'm saying? People like Bud Crawford, with all the wayward moves that we could probably say that he's made throughout his career that we haven't agreed with, he was never in question about the fact that his legacy mattered and that he wanted to attain something greater for himself. And so, for that reason, if no other reason, he had my support. Um, and we can run the gamut on Black champions, who walk in that line or whatever. It's so sad to me, though, that the reason why I question the trajectory of boxing as we, I guess, approach the future, or whatever we consider the future to hold. What is a little bit disheartening for me, as far as what the current climate is predicting, or foreshadowing, I should say, is the lack of the claiming of Black expression, which was my discourse last week in my live. Was like, we see people like Shakur Stevenson reticent um,
Right.
about unifications. That man has not unified since, I want to say, he was at, he didn't unify at 135. Now he's at 140. It's looking like he has no intention whatsoever to unify. Okay. We got people like Keyshawn Davis, who, lost his belt on the scales due to his lack of professionalism. Right. And so we see
Right.
these examples of fumbling the ball, and being proud to do that, seemingly proud to not claim belts. We got people also like ADD Davis talking about, oh, belts don't matter, when he was talking to the young King Abdullah just the other day, acting like he wanted to, have a fight with him, clout chasing, doing what he does best. And Abdullah says, you ain't even got a strap at 140. And here go
Yeah.
ADD Davis looking him straight in the face and saying, who needs the belts?
Casuals don't care about the belts or something to
Casuals
that
don't
effect.
care about the belts. They just know the names.
The names, yeah, that's what he said. Yep.
Absolutely disgusting work. And so when I see these little offshoots, these little expressions, it really definitely has me questioning, um, the prospect, what the prospect holds for boxing, with that mentality. And of course, it isn't, I would say, not, it's not necessarily widespread throughout all of boxing as far as the young Black fighters coming up, right? Um, but the fact that it exists is problematic for me, because it is being said by notable people. Shakur Stevenson is a notable figure as far as today's era of young athletes, just as Devin is, and then we got people like Tank Davis, who showed his own counterfeit behavior in and out of the ring. You understand? So that these are not outliers, so to speak. These are happening by central figures as far
Yes.
as the new generation of boxers. It's happening with the faces of this generation of boxing. And Devin Haney is an outlier because, as opposed to his contemporaries, he is doing the opposite, which is really standing within the roots of the sport, as we know it, championship legacy over everything. So I'm hopeful and optimistic because I am at the core of me a boxing diehard. I just am, and I believe in my beautiful brothers and sisters in the sport. But at the same time, I look at the discourse that is taking shape, as I was trying to highlight to the best of my ability in my last live,
Right.
and that discourse seems to be that seems to be what's highlighted. The legacy of Devin Haney is being shunned, beautiful people. Meanwhile, we got the mindset of belts not mattering taking center stage, as if they want to inculcate into you that this is the mentality that fanships need to support, right? Oh, it's money over legacy, right? It's never money and legacy. I have no problem with anybody getting any money. I wish generational wealth for all of the brothers and sisters, the people in this chat room, the brothers and sisters across the country and worldwide.
Yeah.
Everybody, I wish generational wealth for. If I had it my way, everybody would be eating good and living good. So that I have no problem with that. Okay, but the conversation should never be either or.
Either or,
Both
yeah.
and can be in existence. We can amass beautiful wealth for ourselves, and we can establish legacy as Black fighters. We can do that. And the
But
problem is
they
that
they a
we
threat
have
to
our
it though.
fighters choosing one over the other. Yeah.
Exactly. They like that's what I was saying earlier. Like what I was saying earlier when I feel like boxing can is gonna be in a bigger place and the collective, of like black boxers and us standing on business, it has to be in place. But when you got guys like, Keyshawn, like I said, because boxing, now we got the money, we got the people that's gonna fund it. It's not like the NFL, NBA, we got private owners, it's a wide open sport, no governing body. So you got people that can come in and take over. And we got the funds now. Like we got, I guess you could say like a source and people like Keyshawn, Shakur, Tank, a lot of these different guys, they threaten it because it's like they give no credit to the belts. They dish out nothing but propaganda, confusing the casuals. They hate on each other so bad. It's just crazy. Like it's crazy. And it's boxing, of course. It's supposed to get spicy, but it's just it's out of control. So I feel like they be threatening that shit. Like they threaten it. They threaten other fighters coming up and making money. Like when they all acted like Devin getting cheated didn't matter, they fucking cursed. They set us back 100 fucking years in boxing.
Facts.
Like that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like I know I'm rambling, but that's essentially what I'm saying. Like they doing so much. They're doing a disservice, not
Disservice
only to
to
boxing, but to us, for the
Yes.
next generation of young boxers. They shit on theyself. We're
Yes.
eating ourselves. It's just crazy.
that's why I ride with Devin. It's not because
Yeah,
of
my
him.
hell,
It's because of what he represents. Because
exactly.
I
And
don't
he's a
know
skill
I
fighter.
don't know Devin Haney personally. I've never met him. I know
Yeah,
Queen. You've met him. Um,
Yes. Yes. I got to
you
meet him last
you
year
got to meet
at
him.
the Ramirez fight.
that's beautiful.
Yeah, and it's a lovely picture. I remember the picture. Uh,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, it was posted somewhere. I know. I think it may have been. I saw it. I was following it. I saw you guys looked amazing. I'm like, yeah, the young king. The young king is. I don't know him personally, but it's what he represents. Him and his dad. That I
It's what he
know.
represent, man, and the fact that hey, he just happens to be an elite fighter. If into the science, like he the best of me. See him and Shakur. He just happens to be one of the best. But yeah, what he represents, that's
Yeah.
definitely why I rock with him hard. You know what I'm saying? Like I gotta rock with him.
Yeah, it's deeper than boxing, but yeah, his elite mastery of the sport is
He's a
respectable.
master
Like
boxer, bro.
you have to respect the professional dedication, but I also respect the hustle, the grind, the family, um,
Yeah.
belief in something higher than themselves. They're very, faith is part of Devin's constitution. I think his personal his dad as well.
Yeah.
Um, I have to respect these things, um, and this is why you'll never hear Devin Haney say something like the belts don't matter. You're never going to hear that from him.
That's a
The,
fact.
the belts don't matter. No, he's going to pay his sanctioning fees, and
Yep.
he's an ambassador for the sport. That's why he was in Asia, Southeast Asia, at the WBC convention.
That's right.
I don't know if you saw that, but uh, Devin is what is the Wakanda, the first T'Challa and the other character. There was like opposite characters in Wakanda. T'Challa and the other character. They were basically like Malcolm X and Martin Luther King. Like
Oh,
he's
damn, yeah. What's the dude's name? I don't know.
Killmonger.
T'Challa
Killmonger. There we go.
and Killmonger. Devin Haney is a combination of both. I think he's a statesman because he understands the politics of boxing. That's why, working that belt game, the WBC, all that, and he's just a straight up warrior. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the way I analyze him, and they understand the business side. Because like I don't like hearing black fighters say belts don't matter. I didn't
At
I
all.
They
didn't
let
I
them
didn't
say
like
that.
I didn't like what Bud said about the WBC, and
Yeah.
I didn't like that video he did from his car. I'm
Yeah.
like bro,
I
what
ain't
is
gonna lie, I
this,
like
man?
that
Come
video.
on,
I
man.
like that video. I ain't gonna lie,
I,
I like the
I didn't
video.
I didn't like it, man. I didn't like it. I could be honest with
I
you. I'm
I,
like,
I I feel like they letting the black fighters say that, like, they let them push that, because they know it's like it goes back to the race thing. Like they don't really chastise them for saying that because they want to, push propaganda. But at the same time, the belts, yes, the belts matter, but the sanctioning fees and the it is kind of questionable sometimes. Like why do I have to pay? Just like with Shakur and the Teal fight, that wasn't for the WBC. Why did he have to pay y'all hundreds of thousands of dollars for something y'all don't even have a say in? Y'all didn't sanction this fight. You
But
know,
that's because
I get it. I
Shakur's
know what you about to say, but go
was
ahead.
champion at 135.
Right.
That's what there are rules. And one of the rules stipulate that it is no
Yep.
problem for you to go up, and fight for another title in a whole nother division. There's no problem with that. But so long as you retain championship status in this division, you will have to pay. Now, what he was supposed to pay was a fraction. They actually cut in half um, the actual 3%, and he only had to pay half of that, right?
yes.
I agree. I
Because
agree
he
with
was
the
supposed to
taxing.
fight for a
Sis,
whole
you're talking about Bud, right?
I'm talking about Shakur.
Shakur.
Oh, Shakur, my bad. Sorry, go ahead. Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, so that he was instead of paying the full 3%, he only had to pay half of that because he
Mhm.
was going up to fight in another division. But Shakur, if he would have dropped his belts and moved up, he wouldn't, of course, have to pay anything. But because he tried to hold his belts, they're like, okay, well, you can go ahead and go fight for a whole nother strap. You can go ahead and go in a whole nother division, right? But then, your sanctioning fees would be cut in half, but you will still have to pay because you retain championship status at 135,
Okay,
right?
I
So those
get all
are
that.
obligations that he and his lawyers are well privy to.
I
Um,
get that. I get that. But wait,
yeah,
wait, listen. So this is what I'm saying. With the belts, okay, I agree. Yes, you should, pay for these opportunities. These sanctioning bodies did the work to be recognized as, sanctioning bodies. So you pay them. But the thing is, in a sport like boxing where there's really it's so much corruption and, there's no pension for these fighters.
mm-hmm.
There's no care about drug testing. Sometimes fighters are paying for the drug testing themselves, paying for the other fighter. It's
Mm-hmm.
like, why are we paying this money? I get it. Yes, there should be a tax, because you wouldn't be able to afford these opportunities without these companies and these organizations. But it's just like it should be something behind it. So I understand the fighters. You know, I understand it's a blood sport. I can lose my life in each and every event. You know, so why am I paying you when I'm taking these fucking punches? I'm not shooting a ball, or I'm taking fucking punches from a man. You know, a man who's training months at a time to punch me. So it's like it's nothing behind it. There's no support. There's no. So I understand the fighters, but I get what you're saying. Like Devin, he gonna always do what he do. Like he gonna follow the rules. You know, but it's like I get it. You know, I get it,
I
but it's just
I
nothing
I, I
behind it.
want to I want us to be more emotionally mature. I'm saying us. I mean like the boxers. Like there's a level of statesmanship, a craftsmanship that you have to have in this world. Um, you know, whether you like, it's like when a politician is campaigning to be president, like Obama. Let's say Obama, but you can't say and do the things you said and did as a candidate when you become president. Like it's just you're a statesman now, and maybe it's my political background or what have you. I'm not saying to sell out. I'm not saying to coon. I'm not saying all
I know
that.
what you're saying.
I'm just saying you paid the sanctioning fees for all the other belts. So what is your issue with the WBC? You already paid the other corrupt, quote unquote, sanctioning bodies who
Because you know
are
they say they
coming
charge
coming
more.
into. Well, yeah.
They
See, then
charge
we're
more.
arguing over like, Bud, how much money you made over $10 million.
It's
You
not
know what I
that.
mean?
It's just like what I'm saying. If I understand the fighter's point of view, you know, I'm not gonna,
Mhm.
fight for them, but it's like I understand where they're coming from. Whereas as like, hey, boxing isn't even organized like that. We giving y'all all this money, and at the end of the day, y'all will fuck us. You know, y'all will fuck us at the end of the day. Like y'all don't care about us. Y'all don't do nothing for us essentially. You know, like
Mhm.
that's what
I
I'm
would
saying.
say,
Like,
you know, I feel you, bro. Like, I feel like a more principled stance was he shouldn't have paid. I'm talking about Bud right now. He shouldn't have paid
but
any of
yeah,
them then. He shouldn't have paid any of the other sanctioning bodies then. That to me, that's
yeah.
you paid some but didn't pay the WBC. It just and
But that's just
sugar.
you just love it that much. You're not it's you gonna pay it if this is a sport that you sacrifice so much for. It's just
Yeah,
yeah, just a necessary evil you gotta do.
Mm,
But y'all could just
that's
raise
that's
it
what I'm
on me at
saying.
any time. That's crazy. Like,
Yeah, yeah. I
three
mean,
hundred thousand dollars.
we had this sugar free and I were on Twitter with some people, and it was mixed reviews on this whole topic, and some people had
Yes, it's
very
kind of
bad
mixed.
things to say about me, but I'm like, no, like I'm not a sellout. I'm just like, sometimes you just play the game,
Yeah, you
like the
gotta play
belt,
the game. I get it. Yeah, I
play
get
the
it.
game, because I don't ever want to hear Devin say belts don't matter. I don't want to see Devin ever do a video like what Bud did. I don't think it's a good look for our black champions. I want our black champions to shine. I don't want us to look like we're like we can't pay our bills or whatever. Like that's the way it came across. Like you just didn't want to pay your bills.
I think there is validity in our stances. You know what I mean? But I
Right.
think the
Yeah,
issue is
both
that
of them.
the issues are being conflated. That's the point of uh,
Yeah. Mhm.
dissonance that's happening or that had been happening in the boxing
Mhm.
world. In their reaction to Bud and then subsequently Shakur Stevenson. I think the issue or the understanding is being conflated because on the
Mhm.
one hand, people are looking at the lament from Bud Crawford and Shakur Stevenson and saying, okay, well, they're being forced to pay something that they have no right paying, which is absolutely not true. But also that they are trying to push and say, well, these fighters, ought to be having, whatever, what is their money going towards, right? It's kind of like what EJ tried to posit when he was at the presser for his fight with Crawford. Like, you guys are taking 3%. Where's this money going towards? Blah blah blah. Right. So he's raising an issue to have the money be used for like the good brother said, let's say retirement plans or investments towards
Medical,
the
anything.
latter half of a fighter's career, which is absolutely and 1,000% correct. 1,000% correct.
Mhm.
Um, I think that should be absolutely paramount, and that should be, um, without question, already a part of where these fees or a good bulk of those fees are allocated towards, considering the post life of a boxer 1000%. But that is its own conversation. I think, like, apart from that being an actual fact, there is also the fact that you cannot have a fight, a sanctioned fight, that has an arena for you, that has a ring for you, that has all the parameters and all the protocol ensured for you to get into that ring, to make your millions of dollars. You cannot expect these commissions and all of these things to be in place for you as sanctioned by the bodies, and not think that that's going to come with a fee. You don't just walk into $1 million goddamn arena
Right.
with a $500,000 ring.
I definitely understand that.
Referees that has to be paid, and all of these things that have to be paid just because you are Bud Crawford or Shakur Stevenson. No, these things are, one hand has to wash the other, and that was being conflated with the larger issue of where does the money go to. I think there are two absolutely valid stances because they are very real.
Yes,
but
they shouldn't be conflated. Yeah,
and because people started getting mystified by what the focal point of that discussion that Bud was raising was really about. He was not raising questions about the future life of all boxers. He was absolutely selfish in his lament, just like Shakur Stevenson was. Shakur Stevenson was not lamenting on camera for the lives of fighters when they hit 50 years old. He was saying, "Why I got to pay you $100,000? I could spend this on a whole new goddamn Rolex watch," or whatever was in his mind.
Right.
Had nothing to do with the life of fighters. Totally selfish. Which he has a
thing is Oscar De La Hoya.
He was not on some type of parade or waving a flag for the life and justice of fighters. I think if he were, that would have been a very valid stance if it was focused upon that, but it was not. And the same thing goes for Bud. I think that there is a conversation that fighters need to bring to the forefront very seriously that encompasses that mindset and perspective of like, hey, we giving you this money. We all got together as fighters. You know what I'm saying? Black fighters, Puerto Rican fighters, goddamn Mexican fighters, goddamn you, every fighter who cares about this particular issue. We all got together, made a coalition to ensure that whatever percentage of fees that we pay to these sanctioning bodies must be allocated in some type of way, or let's say the health care, the retirement care, post plan, whatever the possibilities you want to account for that a fighter has to go through as they get older, so that all the blood and the sweat that they put in, throughout their careers can be reciprocated, and given back to them in their older age, so that they nor their families have to worry about their care. That's a conversation to stand 10 toes on as a collective fight community. That's a very important, I think, something that we should fight for. Fans and fighters alike, everybody who cares about and supports boxing should be advocating for that. There is a conversation for that. And if they took that particular stance, they will have my 1000% support. I will assist in whatever way I can to get that for them. I don't simply just watch these men, bleed and get hit upside the head for nothing. If I can support them in their aftercare, as they grow older, and their families, who had to sacrifice nights with their husbands, who couldn't be taken to school by their fathers, there should be some, parameters that ensure, the continuance and the sanctity of and the safety and security of their lives as they retire and stuff like that. But that was not the stance that neither Shakur or Crawford were taking. But that should be had by more fighters. I think the fighters should have a serious conversation, Black or whoever loves and cares about boxing, who is in the industry fighting and knows what that pain is like to bleed in the ring. I think all of that should get, just like with the sister of the brother, who what's that dude's name? Conor Ben's father, who he absolutely
Nigel.
His sister recently conducted an interview with Andre Ward, and my goodness, the suffering that woman had to go through, the suffering that the family had to go through. A man whose life was absolutely, until this day, is jeopardized because of that fight that he had with Conor Ben's father. Those are very real circumstances. People have had worse than him. People who have died, brothers and sisters. And so that is a very viable and real concrete conversation that I think boxers should absolutely take seriously enough to, get some type of parameter set to ensure the caring of themselves. But Bud wasn't on that tip, and neither was Shakur. And that's my overall problem, is that it was not about that. Because if we're going to have the conversation, let's goddamn have that conversation for real.
For real, for real.
Yeah, yeah, literally blood, sweat, and tears. Literally.
Yeah, it wasn't. They're not activists. They were coming from a personal finance standpoint. That's why. You know what? Maybe I was perturbed because I'm an activist. I've been an activist my whole life, so maybe that's why I was just
Gerald McClellan. Yes, I see you.
yeah,
Jerry
Yes,
McClellan.
thank you for
Oh,
reminding
yeah,
me.
G-Man. Yeah, G-Man.
Yes.
Yeah, G-Man.
yeah. That's the brother right there.
That is. Yeah, it's a long list of those, though. A long list.
Yeah, it
You don't
wasn't.
know.
But Bud wasn't on an activist. He was just looking out for his own pockets, and whatever he may have some type of grievance with the WBC. I don't know. It sounded like it.
That's my thing. So look, I've heard boxers complain about this, for a long time. Roy Jones complained about the belts, the fees, and Andre Ward a long time ago. They even said, I think I gotta find it, but Oscar, he's a hypocrite. 'Cause a long time ago, he complained about the belts, like the
Yeah.
money,
Yes.
and it's like, I don't know. It's just like, what is? I don't know. I can't. I don't know. But I get what y'all saying. They not on no activist shit. They just trying to get their money. They don't want to spend the money. But yeah, it is. They do need something. Like they definitely need like a union or, but they keeping us divided. They keep black fighters divided because everybody is like trying to campaign for the Mexican fan base because they think that's where the money is, or so a lot of black fighters they don't even like each other. Like, and of course you're not gonna like each other, but y'all can still come together and do like a union or something.
Yeah, for
But
sure.
they keep us divided. They keep us divided, and it's not like they're giving orders to do this. It's just like a social system, that they adhere to. You know, Keyshawn, all of these different guys, like they. That'll be good if it can happen, but I doubt it.
Oh, Snoopy Mac is in the building. Salute to Snoopy Mac.
Salute to the
Dream
Kings Dream Team.
Dream Team. Always every time Snoopy Mac comes, Snoopy Mac is like 10 toes down with Dream Team. I love it.
Facts.
I love it. That's what I mean by, to me, because when he says that, he's talking about Devin is like the Dream Team, the Dream, Devin the Dream Haney. So I love it.
And he's all dream was the Debo.
Well,
I think we changed
I
it
like
to Debo, man.
I don't really I like the whole
You don't
Debo
like the
thing, but
Debo
I
thing?
like to,
Yeah.
no, I like it, but I like to call Devin the Dream because I know what he's saying when he says
American
he's the
Dream.
Dream,
Yeah.
like the
I
American Dream.
interchange it. My main, I call him Young King.
He
Like
can have both, yeah. He had Dev Dollars, the Dream, Debo,
Young King. I know, yeah. Sugar Free Me calls him the Young King Dev, right? Young King Dev.
Yeah, Young
Or-
King.
Yeah, he got a
Yeah.
lot of
He's
different
Young
aliases.
King to me. I mean, he's at the helm of the sport, and for the boxing that we could all reflect on, I think he's the closest thing. Not that there aren't others, who are coming up and representing that, but for me, he is at the helm of that. He's the one that is unapologetically old school in spirit. He makes no apologies, for wearing the cloth of the giants before him. I think that there's been a reticence to kind of claim that that spirit. People, when I look at Tank Davis, he didn't necessarily over the years that I really was very, staunch supporter of his. I never saw him wanting to claim that spirit. He seemed more concerned about a popularity contest.
Pleasing everybody else.
And Shakur Stevenson, he started out with legacy all over him, and I loved him very, very much. First of all, he's a lefty. I love lefties. I am a lefty, so yes, I have a bias for lefties. And so I took him on very, very. I just wrapped him up in my arms when I first saw Shakur Stevenson, and I was that way for a very long time up until recently. I have not been so pleased with him, but when he first started, he was legacy is all he spoke about. I'm the next Sugar Ray Robinson. You know, I'm the next Floyd. I'm going to be the one, you know, to carry this forward. And I believed him. And so I rocked very heavily with him and until recently, where now I don't see where
Take
I
that
see that he's taking
L.
on the same parlance that a Tank Davis took on, where it's just about a money fight, which, like I said, I have no problem with, but there should always be legacy somewhere within
Yeah, he
that.
want to be
If
popular.
there's no
He just
legacy,
want
I
to be
can't rock with
popular.
10 toes. You know what I mean?
Right.
He seems too
There's
eager to
no.
Shakur want
win.
to be popular, man. He want to be popular more than anything. It's
Yeah,
not
he wants
about
to be,
belts.
popular. It's
If
like,
he
yo,
would,
I want you to
yeah.
be popular too. But the legacy is what people are going to be talking about 30 years from now, not how many people liked your goddamn tweet.
Like I said, when you gave Conor Ben, like I said
Yeah.
yesterday, the biggest fight of
Yep.
your life, the biggest fight of your career, you called out Conor Ben. And they never,
Exactly.
like I said, that's gonna be remembered 30 years. People are gonna watch that fight 20 years from now,
Exactly.
10 years from now, and you let Conor Ben get in the ring. You're calling out
Yeah.
Ryan Garcia and like, dog, what are you doing? Like, you ain't about to. I spoke to Shakur a couple times. He don't like me, but because he just a contradiction. I was like, what about this when you said this? And he was like, nigga, I changed.
Oh my God.
I
You
was like,
like
what,
you
what are
changed
you?
7 times in a goddamn week?
He was like, nigga, I'm older now. I changed. I was like, but you said this. I
Like,
was
nigga,
like,
that was 3 months
nigga,
ago.
right, that was 3 months
Right.
ago.
Three.
I
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
like,
Yeah. 3 months
I
ago.
was like,
Yeah.
nigga, that was a
Exactly.
month
I
ago you
changed
said
three
that.
months ago. Yeah, a month ago.
Right.
Like, man, Shakur, he
That
need
shit
to
was
be
last
media
Saturday.
trained or something. He need to be media trained or something. Like, they need to media train him or something because he contradicts himself every day. Like, and I'm glad people are starting to see it because I've been following him for a long time. But it's like for so long, especially with Devin, he was just throwing so many contradictions over the years. It was like, bro, this guy is out of control. He's a master, beautiful boxer, man, but
Yeah.
he out of control sometimes.
Yeah.
Salute to brother Neil Harp. Just this brother, he and I work together here.
Oh
He's
wow.
Yeah, this is the brother. We're part of the same. He's the
Salute.
CEO. Neil Harp. He's on the screen. He's the CEO of a record label that I'm an executive. I'm the vice president of artist affairs down here in Charlotte. Neil Harp is I consider him a mentor of mine. He's
Wow.
yeah. I was just with him today working, and then we rushed back here for the live back at my home where I'm staying. So like Neil is, I'm so glad he's in the chat. He's a big influence on everything that I'm doing, boxing wise, music wise. We're part of the
Wow.
same not for profit. We have a not for profit here, 501c3. So this is a big gentleman down here. He's been in the music game for many years. He's a music executive, and he's also a artist. OG Unk. He does Southern soul music. So
I heard that before.
Wow.
I want to
Salute.
big him up. Yeah, Neil Harp. So
Salute.
he's yeah.
Big
I just
salute
want.
to you.
Yeah, sorry, I had to do that little because I'm like, this is a big dude in the
No, you
chat. Like, yeah, he's
Okay.
keep it
yeah. We
rolling.
always
Yeah, you
talk
good.
boxing. Yeah, salute,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah,
Yeah, we're black brothers making it shake. Yeah,
yeah. Trying
so
to
Blessings.
find
I,
the
I
next NBA young boy.
I was just at his house a few hours ago before I came back to yeah. So he's an older like I consider him a mentor of mine for sure.
Yeah.
Mentorship is a big actually I wouldn't be where I am today without mentors. Um,
Wow.
Yeah,
yeah, and I feel like that's just to translate it back to boxing. Yeah, that's where the young brothers we were just talking about Shakur. Bud Crawford to me is a great mentor in the ring for him.
Yeah.
Outside of the ring, not so much.
no, no.
You know.
He
Yeah.
just
Um,
no. He's just no. He's not. He's crazy. But Devin gonna get Shakur that first L. Hate to say it, everybody acting like Shakur is a mad, just this untouchable.
that's if they fight,
Like
bro. Because I don't
if
Yeah.
they
know.
fight, man,
Exactly. That's what I was
and we
thinking.
can break it down with the science of it. Like, okay, man, it comes down to you can't just you're not gonna go. He's gonna outbox him. They're both master boxers. To me, it's like who got the better jab, the or Who would y'all say? Who got the better jab?
Oh,
That's
that's Devin.
Devin. Who got the longer jab? Devin.
Devin has the
Devin.
Who
longest.
has who
Yeah.
got more experience? With like I said the other day, Shakur has always been the A side for a reason. It's not because he's just that good. It's just because his level of competition is not that good. Compared to Devin, where he gets all he's a technical boxer, got 10 or 11 unanimous decisions against better competition and still making it look just as easy as Shakur is. I'm
Yeah.
going against better competition.
Right. That's such a
I'm going to
beautiful
get
fight. I would be so,
that's
oh
a
my
beautiful,
God,
that's
I
a
would be
crazy fight.
devastated if we didn't get
I
that.
got Devin.
Kind of like what happened between Wilder and AJ. Oh my
I
God,
got
I'm so
Devin. I got
disappointed.
Devin hurting Shakur.
Oh, we never
I
got.
got him hurting.
We never got AJ versus Wilder. You got that's ridiculous to even say those words. I'm praying that it's not a repeat as far as Shakur and Devin is
Eddie
because
Hearn.
these promoters did everything to make to debauch the entire
Eddie
that
Hearn.
fight getting materialized. It was they absolutely stood in front of that fight being made, and I think like I wouldn't put it past these people to get in the way of these fights, and I won't put it past Shakur Stevenson because he seems to be spearheading the blockading of that fight being made. He does not want that fight. It's evident.
And there's a reason he don't want it. Because
Yeah, exactly.
he know, man, when man, he might get hurt too.
He
I'm telling you, man.
he quit in
Telling
the
you, man.
sparring. He quit in that sparring and said, "I'm tired."
He
Yeah.
don't he don't he don't know how to deal with somebody. He's never dealt with somebody as quick as Devin in the ring, as quick as slick. You know, he's not Devin is not a big combination puncher like Shakur, but Devin, just like Tim said, Devin he's not gonna allow you to work. You know, he's gonna make you sit. He's gonna time all your responses. He's gonna hit you, and he's gonna time your responses to counter you, or he's gonna pot shot you all fucking night. He got the best jab he's gonna set up his shots off of. Yes, Shakur, he can fight on the back foot. He's very good on the back foot. People, oh, he can fight very well on the back foot. He's a great all around boxer, but it's certain things that I don't think he knows how to deal with because he's always fought, low hanging fruit, even in Teofimo Lopez. You
Right.
know,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shakur doesn't know how to turn up. Devin knows how to turn up because we saw that in the second round of Brian Norman.
that's
He
what I
was
said. He
trying to
fuck around and hurt Shakur.
he was trying to get him out of there in that second
And
round.
Devin fuck around is turning into a boxer puncher.
Yeah.
People don't, he fuck around. He's turning into a boxer puncher. He's not just no longer a boxer. He's turning into somebody that can crack. He was at 135 for so long. He got pillow fists. Oh, he can't punch. Yeah, but he's still whooping your ass for 12 rounds. Now that he's coming into his weight, yeah, people are threatening because he can hurt them. You know, you'll be able to hurt them. You're already a master boxer. Now you got some power with it.
Hmm. I think the boxing world
Like
is definitely afraid of a healthy
they're afraid.
Devin Haney for
They're
sure.
afraid. Just like that, just like Ryan got afraid after he knocked down Regis Prograis. Everybody was, and this is what I say, he faces better competition.
Hmm.
Shakur hasn't, Devin had already faced a couple of knockout artists, that everybody, oh, he's gonna get knocked out. He fought Prograis, Norman, Linares, even Ramirez. People want to act like, bro, Ramirez was knocking shit out, punching shit.
That's
Who has Shakur faced? Where, oh, this is a 50-50 fight. Shakur is bro, he was on top ranked bums, bum after bum. This dude fought Haratunian after Frank Martin. This
fact.
dude fought Yoshino. Like, come on, bro. Like, who have you fought? Devin was fighting guys at 22, big names at 22, 23 years old, over and over. And he wasn't the underdog, but everybody expected him to lose. Like, oh, he's gonna lose. And he come and he fucking clearly win the fight. 12 round deep. Shakur hasn't no man. He has yes, he fights at a certain pace. Like I said, his combinations That's his greatest asset to me, and his controlling the distance. But Devin gonna, it's just, you gotta understand. I can't explain it. Like Devin gonna beat that nigga ass, bro. Can't
Shakur
explain it, bro. It's
Snoop Me Max says Shakur is not who people think he is. He only looks good against mediocre competition.
what I'm
Shakur is
saying.
really quite easy to beat. Pressure will beat Shakur, and power will make him do on himself. Snoop Me Max.
Hey, I say Devin. Hey, Devin, fuck around. Hey, he turned into a boxer puncher, man. They scared, man. Ryan was scared after he knocked down Prograde. Like, oh shit. I just got
Hmm.
knocked out by Tank. I can't get knocked out by Devin, the guy everybody's shitting on. You know, I can't do that. Let me go ahead and take this.
Let me
No, he
take this
even
off.
rock
Let
Ryan.
me take this Ostering pack. Yeah,
Exactly. Like man, and
yeah,
his next, and he gonna beat the shit out of Rolly.
I
yeah.
can't
He's
wait.
already.
Gonna
Me
beat Rolly
too. I
ass.
can't wait till May 30th.
Everybody
I
talking about he
know.
gonna get cracked. Man, he think he gonna crack Rolly, motherfucker. Rolly gonna get cracked. What are y'all talking about? He's
That
gonna
I
get
think,
cracked.
Queen. I think that's why I'm talking about it now. Because when you first
Mhm.
came on, you were saying you've been sort of reticent about sort of breaking this down right now. I think you said.
Yeah.
I mean, normally, yeah, I would be. I don't know why I'm talking. I think I'm just. I had tweeted boxing is. I tweeted a few days ago. Boxing is dead until May 30th because I know
Yeah.
there's.
So, yeah, it is. It really is.
Y'all not gonna watch the
Yeah,
Keith Thurman and the Fun Door fight?
of course.
Oh,
We're
I'm
gonna
definitely
watch. We're gonna watch
I know y'all
all of
was.
it. We're gonna watch Wilder and Chisora and the. We're gonna watch all of it. But
yeah, all of it.
I know the stakes
I
on
know what
May
you mean
30th.
though. Oh yeah, I know exactly what you mean.
I know how epic May 30th is going to be.
Unification bout.
Yeah.
Unification at MGM Grand. Like I just know it's going to be a beautiful night. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? It's going to be a
And this
gorgeous night
and
in
this will make
boxing.
Devin has been everywhere now. He's BBC, Showtime, Top Rank, Golden Boy, you know. He done been everywhere. He took some shit. That's why they all
Facts.
hate his ass.
Facts.
Whole
Devin
boxing
used to
world
be
hate his
considered
ass.
Devin used to be considered a knockout artist until he had a shoulder injury and had surgery. Yeah, knockout of the year against Moran. Was it Moran?
Moran.
No,
Yeah,
yeah, it was
Moran.
Moran. Brian Norman Jr. is way tougher than Rolly. Dev is going to stop
Way
Rolly.
tougher. Yep, he fuck around, stop him. I'm still bet on the 12 UD because I know they want to play it safe to get to Ryan. But I think they also want to make a statement, just to pummel the guy that quote unquote beat Ryan, just to have that for the legacy. Like, yes, KO.
Yeah,
What's the
exactly.
TKO? TKO on the record. Beat this guy ass.
Yeah, I can't wait for that fight. Um, I don't think Ryan should Devin get through successfully as I'm expecting him to against Rolly. I don't think Ryan is ever going to rematch Devin. He doesn't want to. He's been running and ducking Devin for the past 2 years. So I don't think he would all
Yeah.
of a sudden, grow the balls to fight a man who he know he can't beat. That's why he had to juice up to his neck for. He's just not going to do it because he knows that he will be stipulated even more severely this time around as far as the drug testing is concerned, and that there will be a lot more scrutiny on the part of DHP to ensure his
Yep.
cleanliness. And that and that if in the event he were to even attempt to pop dirty again, that there will.
Hmm.
I doubt that there will be anywhere near of a pass that he got for the first time for cheating. A lot more scrutiny on him this time, and I think he knows that, and he's trying to live off um, what I think is
Mhm.
a disgrace, but what ultimately became his grace from the boxing community. He's trying to live
I
off of
know,
that,
yeah.
along that for his entire career. I don't think he will ever rematch Devin. Devin is hopeful because Devin been wanting that get back, but I doubt that Ryan will give him the rematch. But I think that Devin should get through Rolly as we expect him to beautifully and
Beautifully.
go for. But at the same time, whoever Ryan fights, I think
Mhm.
I don't know if he will, depending on who he fights next. If he fights, who is that has the other belt? The Crocker.
Yeah,
Nah,
Crocker
I
and
don't see
was
that.
it? He's in the UK. Yeah, he's in
Yeah,
UK.
he's in the UK with Matchroom, I
One of
believe.
Hearn's guys.
Yeah, with Eddie Hearn. I don't know. If they
He's trash.
yeah, but I don't know if Riri will get through Crocker. I don't anticipate that Riri will hold that belt for a very long time.
For very long, exactly.
Hmm.
But WBC is going to maneuver this. Well,
Oh,
yeah, and
hell yeah. Hell
oh
They
my
yeah.
know he gonna
god,
pay that. She gonna pay.
Facts.
yeah, they want to keep that on that side on the.
Yes, they do.
They want to
That's why
keep
they
it on
wanted
that side.
Canelo. They wanted Canelo so long to be the champion. All this shit they did for him. They know
Exactly.
he know he gonna pay.
Oh yeah,
Exactly.
Canelo's gonna pay. He's not gonna complain about. Yeah, no. I'm not. That's not a no. That's not a knock against Bud or anything. I just want
No,
us
no,
to
no. I'm
be.
not. No, I know what you're saying.
Yeah, I'm
I'm
not trying to.
just
I
funny.
just wanted to
Like, yeah.
want us to be mature, in spite of.
Right.
I know how race is like. You don't got to tell me. Um, there's just a sophistication that we have to have right now. So we have that status symbol, which is important because a Devin Haney or whoever, a black champion, or Errol Spence, or Wilder, um, this inspires the young kings.
Yeah.
Abdullah Mason, you got to understand. There's people. Abdullah Mason respects Devin Haney. He really
Yeah.
does.
He
He
does.
respects him. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Oscar doesn't want Ryan to fight Devin either. All Ryan and all these other fighters are doing is clout chasing on Devin's name because they know what
That's
time it
it.
is.
Yes, facts. Facts, Snoopy.
Facts. Facts.
Let me
I
just
think it's gonna happen
yeah,
though.
sorry, go
It's
ahead.
gonna happen.
That's what I'm
I'm just.
saying. As Snoopy Max said that, I want to just play something real quick, just sort of as a counterpoint, and what I want to get your opinions on this. Hold on, I know you all saw it, but hold on. Let me just
Looking at right now for Ryan Garcia. I actually like the rematch with Devin.
what do y'all think about that? Sort of as a counterpoint.
Straight up cap. Straight up cap.
I think they really is preparing for the fight because I think they feel like they got the world side. I really feel like they juicing. I feel like they juicing like a motherfucker. But I feel like they feel like everything is in their favor. I think they putting out bullshit. They telling Ryan, call out this guy, call out this guy, but you really preparing for Devin. I don't know. I 100% believe the fight's gonna happen. Because it's just too hectic. But I get definitely what y'all saying. Because they are some spin artists. Especially Oscar. It's a fucking spin artist. He's a bullshit artist.
Why is Oscar changing his tune all of a sudden? Where is this coming from? Because when I saw this, when I
See
saw
that
him,
Ryan is fucking juiced up. He looked good in this fight. When
yeah,
he lost to Rolly, they weren't even mentioning Devin. But he come back. He looks good. Gets a fucking first round juiced up knockdown. Oh yeah, we gotta fight Devin. That's what the sinister thing to me. Like I feel like they know he juiced. He gotta win. He got a belt. You know. And
yeah, that was my initial sentiments. I'm like, wait a minute, like you know,
Ryan is juiced up, bro. He is juiced. He is juiced.
Ryan is on PEDs right now. That's the only
He
reason
is
he's
juiced.
exactly. That's what I said. Snoopy Mac. I'm like, he knows he's juiced. He knows that. I heard Artman tweeted. I saw Artman said like Devin and his dad should just assume in the rematch that that Ryan is on juice.
Yeah,
like
I think
go in the
they
ring
understood that.
knowing you're fighting a guy that's juiced up.
I think they understood that after this very same night that when they fought him, because they know. I mean, or the same night when they found out that he was juiced, because they know how corrupt and dirty boxing is. So it's like, hey, now it's fucked up, but we got to do it. We got to do it. We still can achieve it. We still can do it. And that's why it's going to just be that much more glorious. It's fucked up, but
Nah,
it's
I don't
fucked
think
up,
I don't
man.
think
Yeah, what do you think, Queen? What do you
I
think
don't
about
think De
this?
La Hoya or Ryan want this fight, as I aforementioned. I mean, right after, I mean, this was only a few weeks ago, you guys, Young King was tweeting with Ryan, like, all right, we can make this fight next. We ain't got to wait for nothing. Rolly or no goddamn body. Xander Zayas or no goddamn body. We can make this fight now. Sign up for immediate body testing. That's all you got to do. That's the only stipulation. That's the only demand. What did Ryan do? Absolutely recoil and start talking a whole bunch of inanity, whole bunch of nothingness, and saying
You know
every
he juiced.
I will sign up for immediate body testing to ensure that this fight gets made. He don't want that damn fight.
But I'm saying he know he juiced. For Oscar saying it from a point he know the fight gonna happen later. Ryan not finna sign up for Vada right now because he probably ain't even cycled off. Or he's train. Oh, well, he is training. I seen he was training with David Benavidez. I don't know if he's training every day, but Ryan not finna sign up for Vada right now.
But that's the thing. Is let's say the fight happens 5 years from now. He ain't gonna do it then either, because Devin will demand 16 weeks of testing, not the standard 8 weeks.
Right.
Which he
Especially
should.
if it's on Turkey, right? So let's say if it's on a Riyadh card, Turkey will pay for 8 weeks of testing, and DHP, just like they initiated with the fight with Brian Norman, will pay for the other 8 weeks to have a total of 16 weeks testing. Riri ain't doing that, whether it's now or goddamn 5 years from now, because he knows he's a filthy drug cheat.
He did it with Rolly, but
rematch Devin. I'd have to see it too.
Rolly, but
if Debo knocks Rolly, salute to B Triple TV. Thank you for joining us. If Debo knocks Rolly out, the rematch never happens. That's what he says. Yeah.
The rematch would never happen, even if it was, let's say, UD or whatever the hell it is. TKO, KO, whatever you want to call it. Right. Racist Riri has no intention whatever on facing Devin Haney because he knows that off of the juice, he cannot beat him. He absolutely knows that. So if Devin were to show up come May 30th against Rolly, in whatever fashion he decides to show up, as long as it's a dominant whatever, any type of showing, and Devin is the victor, does not matter. He will not fight him any old goddamn ways, because he knows he will have to be clean this time around in order to do it.
Yes, completely clean. And that much of drug testing in advance is going to catch his little microdosing that he's doing.
Yeah, it'll limit the flexibility he had the first time. Absolutely.
Yeah, like 60 instead of like standard 2 months. No, we're going 16 weeks out minimum. As soon as the contract's signed, you get off at it. Yeah, you know what I mean? This microdosing thing you're doing, like he's got people around him that are getting him passing these tests, because he only released one test online, and that was because of pressure from us.
Exactly, from us. You talk about for that Barrios fight, right?
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes. And then he deleted it.
Exactly.
Right? And where's the other tests? Nick J tweeted, "Wait a minute, what about the post test? Where's that?"
Yeah.
And brother BF said it correctly. It's not going to get released. They have there's some type of agreement not to release the test.
Exactly. They opted to keep it absolutely private, which is why you did not see Barrios or Riri Garcia on Vada's site.
They're still not there. And Barrios has been real quiet. I'm like, dude got paid. Like he got paid, man. He got a briefcase.
He took his bone like a good little dog and went on about his way.
Right. I never want to see him fight again.
Facts.
No, I don't. I really don't. I don't care if you're moving up, and bro, I don't want to see you. You don't throw punches. You knew that Ryan is, because you said I don't care if Ryan, like, we have drug testing, like but you said you don't care about his failed test. He said something to the effect, I don't care about him.
He did. I know exactly what you're talking
about.
Like
what? Come on. Like, we know, I call it a grand conspiracy. That's the term I've coined. I'm like, this is a grand conspiracy between the WBC. I'm not going to throw Vada. Vada's the good party in here, but Vada might have been influenced not to release the results themselves. there's probably some type of agreement not to
Yeah.
release. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
you have to give consent, you know what I mean, to make it public, but you don't necessarily have to. That's up to you to publicize.
Ah,
Yeah.
oh, exactly. Snoopy Max
That's a
says
party.
if Ryan doesn't test for 16 weeks, the fight will never happen. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I just yeah. There's a because isn't this like health information? Like this has to do with one's. There might be some laws in relation to all that stuff too. I don't know.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm not sure. Um,
Yeah.
yeah. So
My phone died.
I don't want to belabor the point. I don't know if what y'all are doing for the rest of the night, but um,
Yeah, King. I mean, it's always
No.
wonderful to talk to you. I definitely wanted to hop on and chop it up with you, of course. So I definitely appreciate, um, the time you allotted for us to have a good cook. I appreciate you, and it was wonderful to see
Good
you
cook.
on your Saturday slot. Let's go.
yeah, let's go. Yeah,
And let's
Saturday.
make
Like
a slot so we could say, can we surmise that Saturday afternoons like 3 p.m.,
yeah,
4 o'clock? You?
3 to be more precise, 3:05 p.m.
3:05. Okay. So Saturdays 3:05. Okay. That's
Yeah,
something to look forward
it gives folks that 5 minutes of grace, like so not exactly at 3, we'll start at 3:05,
to. Yeah, yeah, perfect. Yeah, perfect. No, I think this
Every
is a spot for you,
yeah.
like we spoke about previously. I think it's good. And yeah, I definitely look forward to next Saturday's cook with you as well.
Listen, I love y'all joining I love it. I love it. I'm addicted to this now, and I know I just hope that little mishap beforehand doesn't affect anything, but I'll try to fix that. But
Yeah, definitely.
I see why the Kings do so much heavy screening. Um,
Exactly.
so I'm a baby in this in comparison to them, so I get it. But I hope that doesn't affect things going forward with this. I mean, the live's still going; it's all good. I'm gonna do
Yeah.
my research and make sure. I'm not. I know that's happened to BF a couple times, and the live has stayed on. Uh,
Yeah.
so I'm gonna do my research, and that will never happen again. I'm so upset about that. But
Yeah.
anyways,
A bunch of cornballs.
yeah.
But
Maybe
yes,
that's why maybe that's why I've been sort of reticent about going live, but it is what it is. So
yeah, it is. It is what it is. One time is a lesson learned, right?
lesson
So
learned. Yeah.
you'll definitely mitigate that moving forward. But yeah, definitely a blessing to talk to you, King. I'm gonna head out, and
Thank you,
I'll catch
man.
you on the next one for sure. I can't wait to see you next Saturday's live.
Yes, Queen. Thank you so much for gracing us. Thank you.
Thank you, and
Peace,
salute
sugar
to King
free.
B in the building, and peace to the chat.
Sugar free
Salute.
Mars, man. Peace.
Blessings.
Yes.
Steven next.
Yes, brother. Yeah. Any last words, bro? Before we bounce out of here, I appreciate you joining the chat too, bro. Always, always.
Man, just salute for what us, like I said, what y'all stand for. It's a lot of, propaganda, misinformation being spread. You always gotta salute the people who fighting a good fight, man.
Yes, sir. That's you as well. Yes, sir. So y'all will see me again. I'm gonna pop on. I just want to always share with the good family. So
Yep.
yes, sir.
Salute, man. I see you later, man.
Yeah, y'all in the
Cook me
chat.
some.
Thank you so much. Salute, bro. B
Love to
Triple
everybody.
TV, Snoopy Mac, Sister Cam, Sister Sugar Free Mars, Brother Neil Harp, uh, Mac Majestic, Slim Hussein, Sister Jaquila Fields. Thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate that, sister. Mr. Roll Tide, Brother Andrew, Brother Freedom's March. I want to make sure I shout everybody out. Mr. Cool CJ, we had some different opinions, but thank you for joining us. It's all good. Brother Adam Hurley, Brother Dante. Thank you all. Peace and blessings. Yes, Brother Neil. Salute. Yep. Until next time, it'll be next Saturday, but I might surprise y'all with a pop-up. You never know. I like surprising y'all with these pop-up lives. Thank you so much, family, and peace, salute, and blessings. Enjoy your night. Thank you so much. Bye for now. Peace.